It's time for Stockton Ports Baseball. It's the entire 2006 season right here on KSTN 1420 AM.
You're listening to the Stockton Ports Dr. Pepper pregame show on your only station for Ports Baseball all season long. 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant evening to you whether you're logging on or tuning in to 1420 KSTN. Both Full Jetty broadcasting live from the epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga, California, as we get ready for game one of a three-game series between the Stockton Ports and the hosting Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. And if there ever was a day to have a day off, yesterday was the one, of course, coming after Sunday's very crushing Game 3 defeat against the San Jose Giants by a final score of 12-2. And talking more about that game, Stockton Ports one game away from winning their fourth straight series. Well, it just didn't happen as it was Giants all the way in Game 3 on Sunday. Taking it through that ball game, San Jose scored 3 runs in the first inning on 4 hits, capped off by a 2 RBI double from Julio Cordiero, and you know they didn't look back from there. Stockton would score a run in the first inning and a run in the 7th, as once again a very hot bat for Gregorio Petit. He had a 3-for-4, a homer shy of the cycle. In fact, tripled and scored in the 7th inning of that game. He struck out in his last at bat, did not get the cycle, obviously. But Stockton, great homestand, then on the road, dropping 2 of 3 against the San Jose Giants. Looked good in Game 2, but in Game 3 losing as the Giants had 12 runs, 17 hits, and an error. For the Ports, 2 runs, 8 hits, no errors. Thomas King got the win in that ball game. He's 2-5. Madsen Malossi dropped to 4-7. Madsen's really kind of been a great start, bad start, great start, bad start in rotation. And you only hope that he can build on the good stuff and learn from the bad. So we will see him later on this week. As for the Stockton Ports right now, they come into town with a record of 11-12 on the season, facing Rancho right now, a very similar record of 10-14. The Quakes have dropped 2 in a row in 6 of their last 10 ball games. They've done pretty well here at home, and even 6-6 at the epicenter, and one of the better, maybe best atmosphere for baseball here in the California League. Great attendance, still lead the league in attendance right now, averaging close to 3,700 per game. So Ports, great chance here for a 3-game series to come in and try to make some noise, as we are in 3rd place in the California League Northern Division. San Jose with the victory against us has won 6 of their last 10. They are 16-8, own the best record in the California League overall. Visalia in 2nd place at 13-10. Again, they are 2.5 games back and have split the last 10 games themselves. So Stockton in 3rd place, 4.5 back at San Jose, 11-12, and see it right back to the 500 mark with a victory here tonight. The victory in this game may not be easy because on the mound for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes is a very highly touted prospect, the 6'3", 185-pound right-hander Nick Adenhart. And Adenhart's a guy, well, you look at one of the best high school prospects in the country when he came out, some arm problems, but was able to be a sleeper in the draft for the Angels, and, well, now he is certainly showing what he is capable of, putting up some pretty good numbers. He's 2-0 with a 3.21 ERA. Now in his 4th appearance of the season, in 14 innings pitched, he's given up just a total of 5 earned runs, 13 hits, striking out 13, walking 5. And batters batting .245 against him. He's coming off a victory against Inland Empire back on the 12th of July on the road in San Bernardino, went 6 innings, giving up just an earned run on, again, facing 22 total batters, striking out 6 and walking 2. And he'll be opposed by Jason Ray for the Stockton Ports. Ray, well, he's done a nice job since joining the rotation, 3-2 and a 3.08 ERA. Went to college, of course, in town here in Rancho Cucamonga, just down the road at Susan Pacific. So going to have a lot of fans in attendance rooting him on tonight. Families also made the way all the way from Farmington, New Mexico, so it should be a lot of fun for them to see him pitch on the mound as well. Well, I think we're just in time for the national anthem here at the epicenter, so I will rise along with the fans and send it back to the KSTN studios. And when I come back in 90 seconds, first pitch of Game 1 of this 3-game series, right after this, on your only station for Ports Baseball all season long, 1420 KSTN.
Dr. Pepper for your ear, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, wouldn't you
now that's cool, but there's more to it. Because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know, with 23 flavors mixed into one bold taste. Every sip is a cool mix of music in your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Banners and signs. Oh, my. And what great work they do at the Sign Shop. Family owned and operated since 1993. When you want fast and dependable service on fabulous banners, vehicle and boat lettering, A-frame, magnetic, real estate, and job site signs, call 951-0227. Fax your order in at 951-0653 or log on to signshopstockton.com. The Sign Shop, 7720 Lorraine, Suite 104, Stockton at the corner of Hammer in Lorraine. Banners and signs. Oh, my. At the Sign Shop.
Since 1950, California Welding Supply has been serving the area with 4 stores conveniently located in Stockton, Lodi, Manteca, and Tracy. California Welding Supply is a local welding supply company with a large stock of inventory, knowledgeable sales staff, authorized service department, on-site gas plant, and a variety of rentals to complete your job. California Welding Supply offers friendly old-time service and responds to your request quickly. Call them at 466-8604. That's 466-8604. Or come by and see them under the Center Street Bridge at 817 South Center Street. California Welding Supply looks forward to working with you.
Now, back to live coverage of the Stockton Porch Dr. Pepper pregame show on 1420 KSTN.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're back just in time for first pitch of Game 1 of this 3-game series between the Stockton Ports and the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Once again, Bo Fulton with you live from the epicenter. As for the Stockton Ports, we talked about Jason Ray, who will be on the rubber. We'll talk more about him when he toes the rubber in the bottom half of the first inning. As for the Stockton Ports lineup from top to bottom, managed by Todd Steverson. Leading things off at his second base will be Eddie Corneo, his second straight game in the leadoff spot. The on-base percentage has been good, and so has the batting average as well. Batting second in center field is Nick Blasey. In the 3-hole in right is Myron Leslie. In the cleanup spot and catching for the Ports tonight will be Landon Powell. Batting fifth and DHing is John McCurdy. In the 6-hole in at first base, Tommy Everidge. Batting seventh and at third is Brian Snyder. In the 8-hole in at shortstop is Gregorio Petit. And batting ninth and in left field is Cameron Coughlin. And again, they will be facing the very talented young right-hander, Nick Adenhart. Adenhart coming in the 6'3", 185-pound righty with a win-loss record of 2-0 and an ERA of 3.21 now in his 4th appearance of the season for the Quakes. Again, coming off a victory back on the 12th of July against Inland Empire. That game at San Bernardino, and also pitched in a victory against Inland Empire on the 2nd of July here at the epicenter in his first outing of the season for the Quakes, where he went 6 innings in that ball game and gave up 4 earned runs and 8 hits, but had some good offensive support and struck out 4 for the victory. In the 7th of July, again, 2 innings of work against the very potent Visalia Oaks. Gave up no earned runs, 1 hit, struck out 3, in a bit of a tune-up effort before moving back into the rotation on the 12th. So at 3 appearances, he's done a nice job. The stats are good, and he comes highly touted as well. So we'll see if the Stockton Ports can get on him early and often. Again, they came to within 1 game on Sunday of winning their 4th straight series to the Stockton Ports, but dropping the finale against San Jose by a final score of 12-2. So let's get the bad taste out of their mouth, and we're ready to get things underway. First pitch, and a called strike in the inside corner. The count is 0-1 to Eddie Corneo. Corneo comes in batting .345, no home runs, 7 RBIs, and we're underway for Game 1 of the series. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one misses inside, and the count even at a ball and a strike apiece. 7:05 is the first pitch start time. And here's the wind of the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung out third base side and out of play. The count is 1-2. Well, for the Quakes, defensively, a refresher. First in the outfield from left to right, it's Drew Toussaint in left, Josh LeBlanc in center, and Cody Fuller in right field. Give you the infield alignment after this 1-2 pitch on the way. Here it is. And a called strike 3 on the outside corner as Corneo goes down looking. That'll be 1 down in the first. And brings up the center fielder, Nick Blasey. Well, for the Quakes, defensively in the infield, it's Freddy Sandoval at third base, Sean Rodriguez at short, Nate Sutton at second, Pat Riley at first, Ben Johnson behind the dish. And again, Nick Adenhart is the right-hander on the mound. Already a strikeout to his ledger. And as Blasey steps in, batting from the right side. Nick Blasey's done a good job in the leadoff spot now in the 2-hole as that first pitch. This is inside, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Nick Blasey. Comes in batting .243, 3 home runs and 4 RBIs. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one misses off the plate, and the count is 2 balls and no strikes to Nick Blasey. Fastball registering at 94 miles per hour. Here's the line from Adenhart in the 2-0 pitch. There's a swing and a bouncing ball to the left side. That'll trickle into left center field for a base hit. So the Ports have their first hit and first base runner of the evening, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Myron Leslie. And it's been a bit of a project for the Stockton Ports, moving Leslie from third to right field, now in his 6th game in right. But seems to really be honing his game out there. The outfield did a nice job in the series against San Jose defensively. We all know what he's been able to do at the plate this season. Comes in batting .280 with 13 home runs and 64 RBIs. Again, is the team leader in homers and RBIs. Batting from the left side against the right-hander. First pitch. That one misses off the plate, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Myron Leslie. He's had considerable more power from the left side of the plate, but we saw that monstrous home run he had from the right side against San Jose back on Friday night. The pitch misses inside. The count is 2 balls and no strikes to Leslie. And Blasey at first. 1 down. Top half of the first inning. Game 1 of this 3-game series. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Takes inside for a ball, and a nice block there for the catcher, Ben Johnson. Keeps Blasey held at bay down at the bag at first, and the count is quickly 3 balls and no strikes. There's the catcher, Landon Powell, waiting in the wings on deck. Well, some news for you Ports fans, if you didn't know already. Say after this 3-0 pitch. And there's a called strike at the inside corner, now 3-1. The much-anticipated return of Dallas Braden will take place tomorrow, as Braden will get to start in Game 2 of this 3-game series. The left-hander, former Stockton Port and Stockton native. And there's a pickoff throw back to first base, and Blasey back in safely. Been on the shelf all year after his 2005 A's Minor League Pitcher of the Year award winner. Very anticipated return to the rotation, and here's the 3-1. There's a swing and a slap shot down the third base side, fouling out of play. And the count running full at 3-2 now to Myron Leslie. So it should be an interesting afternoon. Again, it's a 1:05 start. So make sure that you tune in when you're at the office. Keep us tuned in at 1420 on the AM dial or on the internet at StocktonPorts.com. Still a full count here to Myron Leslie with 1 on, 1 down in the top of the first inning and still scoreless. Here's the stretch for Adenhart. From the letters, the 3-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a bouncing ball to the right side. Perfectly placed hit and run as that trickles into right center. A base hit. Heading to third all the way home now is Blasey. Here comes the throw. It is offline. He will slide in safely. Leslie moves in the scoring position at second base. And the Stockton Ports have taken a 1-0 lead here in the top half of the first inning. So Nick Blasey makes it a 1-0 ball game, and Myron Leslie credited with the RBI, doing a nice job, and that was a perfectly executed hit and run. They've done it so well this season, especially when Leslie bats from the other side of the box. Hits it right to the second baseman. Of course, Sutton had to go over to cover the bag as Blasey got a nice jump, and he comes across to score. So the Ports up 1-0, and that brings up the catcher, Landon Powell. Here's the stretch. From the letters, the pitch on the way. Here's a swing and a high chopper to the right side, taken on one hop by Nate Sutton. He'll make the throw, and that'll be out number 2, but it does move Leslie down into scoring position at third base. So he's 90 feet away with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the DH, John McCurdy. John McCurdy's been on a hot streak of his own of late, batting .301, 10 home runs, 31 RBIs. He had a streak of 3 consecutive games he homered in. And it was broken up on Sunday afternoon's loss to San Jose. And a very strange inside the park home run back in Game 2 of the series against the Giants to right center field. Here's the pitch on the way, and that one misses off the plate as the count is 1 ball and no strikes to John McCurdy. And here's the stretch. Adenhart sent it the letters, the 1-0 pitch. As that one misses inside. 2 balls and no strikes to count to John McCurdy. Here's the stretch and the 2-0. Here's swinging a high chopper down the third base side, but fouling out of play, and the count 2-1 now to McCurdy. Well, you talk about John McCurdy being hot as of late. He's batting .429 in his last 10 ball games. He has 9 of his last 21. with 5 runs scored and 5 RBIs. Again, homered in 3 straight games in a streak that was finally broken on Sunday. So he has done a nice job in several spots in the order for the Stockton Ports, also several spots defensively. He is DHing here today, but's played third in shortstop in the past 10 games. There's a breaking ball, gets past the catcher. Coming in to score is Myron Leslie. He will slide in safely, and the Stockton Ports have taken a 2-0 lead. And that'll be a pass ball on Ben Johnson. As Leslie makes it 2-0 here in the top half of the first. The Ports on top here in Game 1. So the bases are now clear with 2 outs and the count 3-1 to McCurdy. Certainly hitter's count. We'll see if we get something good to hit from Adenhart. Right-hander in the line. Kicks and fires a 3-1 pitch. And a fastball right down the chute for a called strike. Has the count running full at 3-2. Full count, 2 outs, and here's the payoff pitch. Swinging a miss bullet right past him, up and in at 97 on the guns for Adenhart, and that'll retire the side here in the top half of the first inning for Stockton. But they do draw first blood on the scoreboard as they score 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors and none left as we're through 1/2 frame of baseball here at the Epicenter. And we shift gears to the bottom half of the first. 2-0 Ports here on 1420 KSTN.
Life can be full of risks. If you're self-employed or an individual, you already know that you take risks every day. But one thing you shouldn't take risk with is your family's health insurance. If you don't have health insurance, call the Mega Life and Health Insurance Company to get it now. If you have health insurance, call Mega and see if they can give you better coverage at a better rate. Mega helps tons of small business owners and individuals. You can reach Mega 24 hours a day at 888-228-5499. That number again is 888-228-5499. Don't take risks with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. Without the right health insurance plan, you could be in trouble. For affordable health insurance, call 888-228-5499. That number again is 888-228-5499. Home office, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Not available in all states, and benefits may vary by state.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beruti on 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back here for the bottom half of the first inning. Again, 2-0 your score. It's the Stockton Ports on top of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Jason Ray on the mound for Stockton. We'll talk more about him in just 1 second. But for the Quakes here in Game 1 of this 3-game series, of course, managed by Bobby Mitchell. Their starting 9 looks a bit like this. Leading things off on at second base is Nate Sutton. And the 2-hole one at third is Freddy Sandoval. Batting third, and at the shortstop position is Sean Rodriguez, and boy, what a year he's had. And the cleanup spot at first base is Pat Riley. In the 5-hole and DHing Michael Collins. Batting 6th and catching Ben Johnson. In the 7-hole and in right field is Cody Fuller. Batting 8th and in left, Drew Toussaint. And batting 9th and in center field is Josh LeBlanc. As for the Stockton Ports defensively, from left to right in the outfield, it's Cameron Coughlin in left, Nick Blasey in center, Myron Leslie in right field. And as the first pitch from Jason Ray to Nate Sutton's a called strike in the count 0-1. In the infield from left to right for Stockton, it's, of course, Brian Snyder over at third base. At the shortstop position is Petit, second base Eddie Cornejo, first base Tommy Everidge, behind the dish Landon Powell, and Jason Ray on the mound. The right-hander in the line. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a high chopper over the head of Everidge into right field, and that'll be a leadoff single for Sutton to start the bottom half of the first inning and brings up the third baseman, Freddy Sandoval. So Sandoval will step in, batting .274 with 4 home runs and 32 RBIs. A little bit more skinny on Jason Ray. Of course, Jason Ray 3-2 and a 3.08 ERA. Now in his 6th appearance of the season, 3 are starts, 2 in relief. In 26 1/3, he has done a real nice job, giving up just 9 earned runs. Here's a swing and a shot into right center. That'll drop in for a base hit. Heading from second down to third, it's Sutton. The throw will be cut off by Petit. So it's single for Sandoval, and the Quakes have him on the corners with no outs here in the bottom half of the first, and that brings up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. stats here on Jason Ray. Again, has given up 9 earned runs, 18 hit, well, not 20 hits. Striking out 23, walking 14 batters, sitting right on Mendoza, batting 200 against him. And he's a local product out here at Suzu Pacific NAIA school, where he went to college, just down the road in Rancho, Cucamonga. So a lot of Jason Ray fans in attendance here tonight. He told me before the game he was a small army of fans that came all the way from Farmington, New Mexico, which is where he was born and raised. Here's the stretch in the pitch. And a fastball in the inside corner for a called strike. It registered at 91 on the guns. And the count is 0-1 to Sean Rodriguez. And Rodriguez batting .305 now. 19 home runs and 56 RBIs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that one misses off the plate, and the count even at a ball and a strike apiece. Rodriguez now second in the league in home runs behind Mark Reynolds at the Lancaster Jethawks, who now has 23 on the season. 1 ball and 1 strike with runners at the corners and no outs. Here's the stretch of the 1-1. Swung on and skied foul first base side and out of play, and the count 1-2 now to Sean Rodriguez. Can you take a look at what Rodriguez did last time we were here? Batted .545 with 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. He had 6 hits and 11 plate appearances against the Stockton Ports last time we were in town in the last week of May. There's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first, and again Sandoval slides back in there safely. If you're just joining us, it's Nate Sutton at third, Freddy Sandoval at first, no outs. We are in the bottom half of the first inning, and the Stockton Ports with an early 2-0 lead. Here is the stretch. Ray from the letters, the 1-2 pitch. That one misses up and in. And the count even at 2-2. So we have 2 flamethrowers here tonight. And Adenhart registering at 97. Jason Ray's fastball there registered at 94 on the guns. And having been to just about every park in the league now, I would say the radar gun here at Rancho is one of the more accurate ones in the league as well. Here's the stretch and the 2-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a high pop-up, first base side, slicing foul. Tommy Everidge giving chase, but he'll run out of real estate as it finds its way into the third row of seats and out of play. And the count's still even at 2-2 to Rodriguez. We'll see if Ray can put him away right here. Of course, Jason Ray joining the team on the 23rd of June, so he was not a Stockton Port last time we were in Rancho Cucamonga. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count. Right-hander looks in and gets the sign. Landon Powell setting up in the inside corner. Here's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first as Sandoval back in there safely. Once again, looks in from the letters, the 2-2 pitch. Here's a swing and a high fly ball straight away center field. This should be deep enough to score the run. Catch is made in center by Nick Lazy. Throw comes in and cut off by Eddie Cornejo. Still tagging and scoring from third will be Nate Sutton. Credit the sac fly and the RBI to Sean Rodriguez. And we now have a 2-1 ball game here at the bottom half of the first. Just 1 down. It brings up the first baseman, Pat Riley. Steps in, batting .262 with 7 home runs and 38 RBIs on the season. Takes over at first base for the departed Salazar Lopez, who returned back to his homeland of Mexico. Here's the stretch from the letters, the pitch on the way to Riley. There's a pickoff throw to first. Now they got him in a pickle between first and second. The throw to Petit. Applies the tag, and out at second base is Freddy Sandoval on the caught stealing, and that'll be out number 2 here in the first. Also clears the bases, so nice job by Jason Ray. Read the steal all the way, and he fired over to Tommy Everidge at first. He was about 4 steps down the line, and throw quickly made to second, and Petit applies the tag, so that's out number 2. Here's the first pitch to Riley, and that one misses outside of the count. Is 1 ball and no strikes to Patrick Riley. Here's the wind of the 1-0 pitch. And the breaking ball misses inside 2-0. So far, the Ports 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Quakes 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. Here's the wind of the 2-0. A big Swing and a miss at a fastball upstairs in the count. 2-1 now to Riley. Jason Ray on the mound, set and ready to go. Now kicks and fires a 2-1 pitch. That one swung on, lifted foul, third base side as it coasts into the seats and out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Pat Riley. Bases cleared, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning. Live from the epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga, California. Here's the 1 and the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, found back to the screen again, and the count still leaving it 2-2. So if anything, Riley is having a good at bat here. Jason Ray going deep into his repertoire. There's nothing cheap about that. A fastball at 94 right down the chute. And we'll see what he comes back with now with the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the wind, the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball, swung on and missed. Pulled the string on the 12-6 there on the outside corner. Beautiful breaking ball for Jason Ray. And Riley is the first strikeout victim of the evening. As that will retire the side. But Rancho does jump on the scoreboard. They score 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and none left. We're through 1 as we head to 2 here at the epicenter. 2-1 your score. Ports on top of the Quakes on 1420 KSTN.
Hello, Uri here. Did you know that there is a delicious new ice-cold Smirnoff Twisted 5? It's wild grape. Wait. New Smirnoff Twisted 5 Wild Grape.
Please drink responsibly. Copyright 2005, the Smirnoff Company, Norwalk, Connecticut. Smirnoff Twisted 5, premium malt beverage, made in the USA.
Are you looking for a retirement community that's full of life? Then look to Rio Las Palmas Gracious Retirement Living. You'll be impressed with our affordable upscale community featuring both independent and assisted living. We feature a variety of planned activities, personalized care, quality dining, and a monthly rental with all amenities included. Come tour our facility in Stockton at 877 East March Lane or call 209-957-4711. Rio Las Palmas Gracious Retirement Living. The life you want with friends you know.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
We are through 1 as we head to the top half of the second inning here in Rancho. 2-1, Ports on top of the Quakes. Fulgenetti with you as always. This is Nick Adenhart on the mound for his second inning of work. And here in inning number 2 for the Stockton Ports, it'll be 6, 7, 8, Tommy Everidge, Brian Snyder, and Gregorio Petit. Ports 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors. The Quakes 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. If you're joining us late, again, the Ports scored 2 runs on 2 hits, capped off by the RBI single from Myron Leslie back in the first inning. And then he scored himself on a pass ball from the catcher, Ben Johnson. So 2-1 is your score as Adenhart toes the rubber for inning number 2. Here's the 1 and the first pitch to Tommy Everidge. And a called strike at the outside corners. The count is 0-1. Everidge batting .241, 11 home runs and 51 runs batted in. Here's the 1 to the 0-1. There's a swing and a high chopper, third base side, charging is Sandoval. And makes the throw to first. 5-3. That's quickly 1 down here in the second. And it brings up the third baseman, Brian Snyder. Snyder steps in batting .276 with a home run and 8 RBIs. He was quiet at the plate in the series against San Jose. In his last 5 games, batting just .143 was 2 of his last 14. He did a real nice job defensively in that series. There's a called strike in the outside corners. The count is 0-1 to Brian Snyder. And here's the line of the 0-1. And a big breaking ball with a called strike in the inside corner, and the count is 0-2. As Adenhart kicks and fires an 0-2 pitch. Just misses on the outside corner with a fastball at 94, and the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes to Brian Snyder. Here's the line of the 1-2 pitch. And the breaking ball misses low and away as the count even at 2-2. Gregorio Petit waiting in the wings on deck. Here's the line and the 2-2 pitch. That one misses inside of the count, running full now, 3-2. Let's see what he does here in the payoff pitch as the catcher Johnson setting up over the heart of the plate. Here's the wind of the 3-2. There's a swing and a drive down the right field side. Slicing foul into the seats and out of play. Still a full count of 3 balls and 2 strikes to Brian Snyder. Snyder does a good job with fastballs up and in. We'll see if they come back with a fastball. Setting up inside is Johnson. Here's the 3-2 pitch. A fastball swung on, fouled back to the right side and out of play. Still full of 3 balls and 2 strikes to Snyder. Base is clear. 1 down, top of the second. Port's on top. 2-1. And here's another payoff pitch. Here's a shattered bat looper up the middle. Finds a hole to center field. A base hit for Snyder. An excellent at-bat there. Went about 8 pitches deep into the at-bat. And as Adenhart went through his complete repertoire, he fought off a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up the middle and found a hole in shallow center. So a 1-out single for Snyder as it brings up the shortstop, Gregorio Petit. So Petit will step in batting .248, 5 home runs and 40 RBIs. He's batting .286 in his last 5 ball games, so a recent slump is slowly coming to an end. 4 of his last 14 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Here's the pitch on the way. That one misses outside. Gets past the catcher, now advancing into scoring position at second base. Here's Snyder. And there's a wild pitch scored on Nick Adenhart, so the Port's now a runner in scoring position. We'll see if they can take advantage. Already a pass ball and a wild pitch for the battery of Nick Adenhart and Ben Johnson, which has already led to a Stockton Porch run. Here's the stretch from the letters. A look at second, a 1-0 pitch. And the fastball misses low and away as the count 2-0. Partly cloudy here, but the sunshine still peeking through the clouds. And Rancho, Cucamonga. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a miss. 93 up and in with a fastball. And the count 2-1 now to Gregorio Petit. Tucked in the heart of the San Gabriel Mountains here in Southern California. Great setting for baseball. A great way to start out the series with a victory here as well. There's a swing and a drive down the right field line, a base hit. Rounding third is Brian Snyder. He will come in. Here comes the throw. It is cut off. So he scores easily, an RBI single for Gregorio Petit, and the Stockton Ports have now taken a 3-1 lead here in the top of the second. Petit doing a nice job. Fought off a 95-mile-an-hour fastball with the opposite way with it down the right field side. So credit the single and the RBI to the Stockton Ports shortstop. And that is the 4th hit of the ball game for Stockton, all singles. They're slowly chipping away here at Adenhart as now 1-on-1 down brings up Cameron Coughlin in the 9-hole. Left fielder batting from the left side. Hitting .289 on the season, 2 home runs and 24 RBIs. There's a pickoff throw back to the bag at first, and Petit back in there safely. And the right-hander looks in. Johnson sets up outside the pitch. Swinging a bouncer to the left side. They flip over to second for 1, back to first, and that'll be an ending. 6-4-3, buy 1, get 1 free, double play ball. Score at Rodriguez to Sutton to Riley. And that will retire the side here in the second. But Stockton does tack on another run. They do so on 2 hits, no errors, and that's the double play. None left on base. We're through 1.5 here at the epicenter of Rancho, Cucamonga. It's 3-1 Ports as we head to the bottom half of the second on 1420 KSTN.
Did you wake up to Mancow this morning? I kind of like what Brad Pitt said.
It completely changes your perspective and certainly takes the focus off yourself, which I'm really grateful for. I'm really grateful for that. I'm so tired of thinking about myself now.
He's talking about?
Myself.
He's talking about having kids. It's true. When you have children, you don't care about yourself anymore. You become selfless.
It completely changes your perspective and certainly takes the focus off yourself, which I'm really grateful for.
You know, all of these world leaders are together, and they don't know the microphones are on. Whose goof was that when President Bush cursed, dropping the S-bomb? What does Andy Rooney think of Katie Couric?
I'm not enthusiastic about it. I think everybody likes Katie Couric. I mean, how can you not like Katie Couric? But I don't know anybody at CBS News who is pleased that she's coming there.
Tune in tomorrow morning for another edition of Mancow's Morning Madhouse on KSTN 1420 AM.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
We are through 1.5 as we head to the last half of the second inning here at the Epicenter. It's 3-1 Stockton over the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. We'll see what Jason Ray does with a small 2-run lead here. As for Rancho in the last half of the second, it'll be 5, 6, 7 Michael Collins, Ben Johnson, and Cody Fuller. As Collins will lead things off, and the role is DH here tonight for Rancho, batting .305 with 6 home runs and 59 RBIs. Batting from the right side. Ray is set and ready to go. Here's the line in the first pitch. And the fastball in the inside corner misses. Has to count 1 ball and no strikes to Michael Collins. And here's the line of the 1-0 pitch. And the called strike has to count out even at a ball and a strike apiece. Well, Rancho coming off an 8-7 loss to Lake Elsinore back on the 16th of July. There's the 1-1 as that one swung on, fouled back first base side and out of play in the count 1-2, much like the Ports. Rancho with the day off yesterday. And the tough loss there is they fought their way back with a 3-run bottom half of the 8th inning, but it was still not enough. And Lake Elsinore with Ramos on the mound were able to pull out the victory. Here's the line of the 1-2 pitch. One upstairs with a fastball. And that's exactly where Michael Collins leaves it. Has the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes and the Rancho designated hitter. So again, the Quakes at 10-14, 4.5 games back of Lake Elsinore. There's a swing and a high pop up to the right side. Out on the right is Myron Leslie fighting the evening sun there to make the catch. He'll put it away. 1 down in the second, and it brings up the catcher, Ben Johnson. Johnson batting .254 with 12 home runs and 40 RBIs. But again, Lake Elsinore at 14-9. They've won 8 of their last 10 ball games. After a bit of a slow start in the second half, they have really kicked it into second gear. And we'll give you the scores later on. They are hosting Inland Empire right now. Here's the fastball, misses outside of the count. 1 ball and no strikes to Ben Johnson. Only 1 game in California League action yesterday. Here's the 1-0. That one swung on and popped up, headed right above the press box area. There's the count even at 1-1. That game yesterday was a victory for the Jethawks of Lancaster, winning over High Desert by a final score of 12-8 as A.J. Shappy got the victory out 6-6. Here's the 1-1. That one swung on and popped up third base side, and that's out of play. Here's the count 1-2 now to Johnson. Loss in that game went to Brandon Whedon, who's now 5-4. Game saved to Matt Elliott, now his 17th save of the season for the Jethawks. What an interesting team Lancaster is. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one also fouled back third base side and out of play. Take a look at the Jethawks and a team that really buried themselves in the first half of the season, and then the light switch goes on in late May when it was too little too late, but they had a great stretch drive in the end of the first half. You thought they would come out like gangbusters in the second half, but they are second worst team in the Cal League right now, record-wise at 9-14 overall. That pitch misses outside on the count, even at 2-2. You can't blame the offense as they continue to swing the sticks. Pitching has been another story, and it's been that way pretty much all year long for them. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases clear, 1 down. Here's the 2-2. There's a swing and a slap shot foul first base side. And out of play. Still 2-2. The count to Ben Johnson. You take a look at the team hitting, and Lancaster right where they always have been, batting .299 right now as a team, just about 300 mark. Amazing. So time called as Johnson steps out. Pitching-wise, Lancaster is the worst in the California League. They have a 5.70 ERA. There's a swing and a fly ball straightaway center, backtracking, and over there to make the catch is Nick Blasey. He'll put it away for out number 2 and brings out the right fielder, Cody Fuller. I guess to kind of give you more perspective on the two teams here tonight, Rancho and Stockton, well, they are neck and neck when it comes to team batting. Rancho is 6th in the league at batting and a team average of .271. Stockton, well, they're 8th at .266 as a team. Pitching-wise, Rancho much better than Stockton with a team ERA of 4.31. The pitch is swung on and popped up behind the plate. Giving chase is Landon Powell. So he will run out of room as that finds its way into the seats behind home plate, over the screen and out of play. And the count 0-1 to Cody Fuller. And Fuller batting .288, 3 home runs, 23 RBIs. Stockton Forts right now a team ERA of 4.79. They have been among the league leaders in fewest walks given up. That slowly changed in the San Jose series. The fastball misses up and in the count even at 1-1. Right now Stockton has walked 294 batters, which is 3rd best in the California League. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one misses off the plate. And the count 2-1. Only teams better than them are High Desert, who have walked just 291. And the best in the league is Lake Elsinore. No surprise they have the best ERA in the league as well at 3.58. So they have a season low 243 total walks issued by the staff. There's a 2-1 pitch, misses upstairs, and the count 3 balls and a strike to Cody Fuller. In bases cleared, 2 outs here in the bottom half of the second. 3-1 Stockton on top of the Quakes, live from the epicenter in game 1 of this 3-game series. Here's the wind and the 3-1 pitch. There's a swing and a high pop fly. That one foul ground first base side. Tommy Everidge giving chase. Comes a long way down the line to make the catch. And he will put it away as that retires the side. Here in the second, and the Quakes, they go in order. No runs, 6 errors, and none left. We're through 2 as we head to 3. It's 3-1 Forts here on 1420 KSDN.
Lucas Business Systems has been delivering results to businesses in California's Central Valley since 1904. Lucas Business Systems personalizes solutions to meet the individual needs of their customers, from the small office to the large multi-user organizations, using the Konica Minolta BizHub product line of multifunctional copiers and printers. They provide your office with advanced document imaging and management solutions. Lucas Business Systems is proud to be the official technology provider of the Stockton Forts and wishes the team the best in Banner Island Ballpark with their affiliate, the Oakland A's.
Nothing says class and sophistication quite like the rich, elegant look of cultured marble and natural granite. At Angels Marble, they're making it easy and affordable to add that same touch of class to your home or office. With 20 years of experience, you can trust them to add uniqueness and beauty to your next project. Let Angels Marble help create your unique personal style. Give them a call today. You'll find them in your yellow pages. Angels Marble, elegance made affordable.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Forts, only on 1420 KSDN.
As the famous chicken dance will lead us into the top half of the 3rd inning. Again, live here from Rancho Cucamonga. The 3-1 ball game, the Stockton Forts on top of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. And it's top half of the order to start things off here in the 3rd for Stockton. It'll be Cornejo, Blasey, and Leslie facing the right-hander Nick Adenhart. Here's the wind and the first pitch on the way, and a fastball in the outside corner misses upstairs. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes. I actually believe that was a changeup, registering 88 miles an hour. Here's the wind and the 1-0. There's a check swing bouncer to the left side. Charging is Freddy Sandoval, the third baseman, and plenty of time to make the throw to first, and does. So quickly, 1 down in the 3rd, and that brings up the center fielder, Nick Blasey. Blasey singled, advanced on the throw, and eventually scored on the RBI single from Myron Leslie. So 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored back in the 1st. Quickly calls time to fix the batting glove. Now steps back into the box. Dave Nard is ready on the mound. Kicks and fires. First pitch on the way. And a swing and a miss. Breaking ball in the outside corner, and the count 0-1. And right back of the line, here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a swing and a hot shot down the third base side. That's a fair ball rolling in near the corner. Rounding first and heading towards second is Blazy. He may even go for 3. Well, going to slow down around the bag at second. Had it been down the other baseline, he may have thought triple, but he will glide into second base. With a 1-out stand-up double for the Ports here in the third inning, and that'll bring up the right fielder, Myron Leslie. Leslie, an RBI single and a run scored in the first. He came in to score the pass ball from Ben Johnson. So we've seen the live arm of Adenhart. He's registered several fastballs in the mid to upper 90s. Touched 97 here tonight, but Port's a good fastball hitting team, and they've taken advantage so far. Now 3 runs on 5 hits, and still counting with 1 on and 1 down. Here's the first pitch to Myron Leslie. There's a swing and a chop foul. First base side and out of play as the count is 0-1. Ports 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The Quakes 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors. We're just about 15 minutes shy of the 8 o'clock hour here on the west side. Appreciate you tuning in wherever you may be. Hopefully tomorrow will be an entertaining afternoon on the radio. Here's the 0-1. There's a swing and a bouncer to the right side. As Riley picks it up, he'll make the force play at the bag at first. 2 outs, but Leslie does his job as he moves the base runner down to third base. And Blazy now 90 feet away. And with 2 outs, that will bring up the catcher, Landon Powell. Powell 0 for 1. He grounded out to the second baseman, Nate Sutton, back in the first. Steps in from the left side, the switch hitter facing the right-hander, Nick Adenhart. And here is the stretch from the letters, the pitch on the way. And a change up on the outside corner misses. Well, a called strike, I should say, in the count 0-1. We'll see if Powell can take advantage of this RBI opportunity with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And 1 misses up and in, and the count even in a ball, a strike apiece. Landon Powell in his last 5 ball games batting an even 200 as that 1 misses high and outside. 3 of his last 15, no home runs, 1 RBI. Has not scored a run, so a little bit of a tail off for him at the plate as of late. Of course, still playing a sensational defensive catcher for Stockton. Here's the 2-1, swung on and missed with another off-speed pitch to the outside corner. The count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You can be rest assured when the Ace Farm system takes a look at the numbers and wondering how Landon Powell is doing, they are going to take a look at what he does behind the plate. First and foremost in that category, he is second to none right now in this league. That breaking ball misses low in the count, running full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, 1 on, 2 outs here in the top half of the third. Ports up 3-1. That is Nick Blazy, 90 feet away at third base. Here's the stretch on the letters, the 3-2 payoff pitch. This is outside with a changeup, and a walk has been issued to Landon Powell. His output runners at the corners now at 2 outs and brings up the DH, John McCurdy. McCurdy, we talked about with a very hot bat coming into this game, struck out in his first plate appearance. Went batting .412 in his last 5 games, and this would be an excellent chance for him to take advantage of an RBI opportunity. He's been pulling the ball quite a bit towards left and left center field. We've seen him go to all fields this season, but usually is in that zone when he's able to get around quicker on the fastball. And in fact, 2 of his last 3 home runs have been no doubt about it to the left and in the left center. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a high chopper, third base side, pulls it down the line. Backtracking is Freddy Sandoval. Back hands, fires a long throw across the diamond, and just in time as McCurdy is retired on the 5-3 for the third and final out of this third inning for Stockton. So they knock on the door and come up empty. Does the porch. They score no runs. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the last half of the third inning here at the Epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga. It's 3-1 Ports on 1420 KSTN.
Don't wait any longer. Find relief today. If you suffer from headaches, neck, or back pain, go to Quality Chiropractic. Whether you've been injured in the car, at work, or on the field, Dr. Mike Harrison can help you. He specializes in whiplash, laser therapy, and lumbar disc decompression therapy. Dr. Mike doesn't use drugs or surgery. He treats the cause of your pain. Go to qualitychiropractic.net or call 957-9901. Find relief from pain today at Quality Chiropractic, 5637 North Pershing Avenue in Stockton.
Are you searching for delicious traditional Mexican food? Search no more. Nena's is a place with 2 locations to serve you. Nena's Cafe at 1064 East Waterloo Road and Nena's Restaurant at 2208 South B Street in Stockton. Relax in a pleasant atmosphere and enjoy their friendly service. For lunch or dinner, select from Nena's extended menu with many of your favorite Mexican dishes, from entrees to combinations. Nena's Cafe, 1064 East Waterloo Road, and Nena's Restaurant, 2208 South B Street. Visit today.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beyruti on 1420 KSTN.
The third inning here at the Epicenter. It's 3-1 Stockton on top of the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Jason Ray in a return to his college town with a 2-run lead, and here in the third it'll be 8-9-1. Drew Toussaint, Josh LeBlanc, and Nate Sutton to face the right-hander. Porch did strand 2 in the last half frame, and that was a number that came back to haunt them quite a bit in the 3-game series against San Jose. Left 12 on in game 2 alone despite the victory. And here's the pitch. That breaking ball misses high and outside. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Andrew Toussaint. Andrew Toussaint again batting .240, 10 home runs, 29 RBIs. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses up and in, and the count 1-0. Ray kicks and winds. Here's the 2-0. There's a swing and a towering fly ball to the right side, right down the first base line behind the bag in fair ground, or foul territory, I should say. A snow cone catch for Eddie Cornejo. Tommy Everidge looked like he had it and was called off at the last second as Cornejo came in. Good thing he did, as it was blowing back in towards fair territory. And he makes a snow cone grab, as that'll be 1 down. He brings up the center fielder, Josh LeBlanc. LeBlanc batting .226 with 2 home runs and 25 RBIs, batting from the left side. Here's the first pitch. And the fastball misses inside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Josh LeBlanc. Here's the wind of the 1-0. Swing and a miss, blew it right past him, a little bit off speed on the outside corner. And the count even at a ball and a strike apiece. Ray does not mess around, works awfully quickly on the mound. Here's the 1-1. There's a swing and a blooper in the left center, and will drop in front of Cameron Conklin, a 1-out single for LeBlanc. And the Quakes have their first base runner since the first. He breaks up a streak of 6 in a row sent down by Ray. So 1-on-1 down and back to the top of the order, and second baseman Nate Sutton, who singled and scored back in the first. Quakes now a run on 3 hits. Porch still on top. 3-1 here in the bottom half of the third. Also batting from the left side as Sutton steps in. And here's the stretch and the pitch. That one misses off the plate on the outside corners. The count is 1-0. LeBlanc leading off the bag, very conservative lead. Here's the stretch in the 1-0. Here's a swing and a high fly ball deep to left center field, back to the warning track. That's going to be right on out of here. A 2-run home run just over the wall in left center field for Nate Sutton. And just like that, the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes have tied things up at 3 apiece here in the bottom half of the third. That one had a lot of late light to it out towards left center. It just continued to carry right over the wall And we got a tie ball game here in the bottom half of the third. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Freddy Sandoval. Sandoval steps in. He's singled and later was caught stealing in the first inning. This is kind of a page out of the script of the San Jose series so far, as that one swung on and missed. And the count is on. We talked about the Giants and their really unique ability to answer the call. Every time the Ports would put runs up on the scoreboard, they'd answer back within an inning or two. There's a swing and a flare right to the second baseman, Eddie Cornejo, there to make the catch, and he will put it away for out number 2. It brings up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez hit a sacrifice fly with an RBI in the first inning in his first plate appearance. Not an official at that. We'll see what happens here. His second time in the batter's box. But a 3-3 tie again for Stockton. Now 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Quakes. 3 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. And Ray in the line with the first pitch on the way and tries to hit the inside corner, misses a bit upstairs with a fastball at 92. And the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Sean Rodriguez. Here's the wind of the 1-0 pitch. That one swung on and poked foul. First base sided out of play, and the count even at 1-1. Again, we talked about in his first plate appearance, second in the league in home runs with 19 behind Mark Reynolds of the Lancaster Jethawks, who has 23. Here's the wind of the 1-1. Fastball swung on, hit deep to left center field. Backtracking is Nick Lazy. He's not going to get to it. A one-hopper off the wall. Rounding first and heading towards second is Rodriguez, and that's where he'll stop and set up shop. And a 2-out stand-up double for Rodriguez, so he's 1 for 1. And a 2-out base runner for the Quakes as it brings up the first baseman, Pat Riley. That ball hit right on the button to left center field, and in one of your bigger ballparks here in the California League, it's 330 down the lines. Well over 400 is straightaway center field, and hit it towards left center right at about the 400 mark. So a well-hit ball there, and in scoring position at second base now is Rodriguez as Riley steps in, struck out in his first at-bat. Here's the first pitch, and a fastball misses up and away in the count. And 1-0 to Pat Riley. So 1 on, 2 outs in a tie ball game at 3 apiece. Here's the stretch of the 1-0 pitch. And the called strike of the outside corner has the count even at 1-1. Talking with Jason Ray before the ball game, this is not the first time that he has played at this ballpark. Back in college, said he had a promotion in conjunction with the Quakes where they had a charity fundraiser and played against one another as that fastball swung on and missed. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Pat Riley. Said he upsold tickets for the event and raised money for his college. One ball and 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 outs. Last half of the third, and 2 have come across for Rancho to tie things up at 3 apiece. Here's the stretch. Look over at second, the 1-2 pitch. Big breaking ball, misses up and in, and the count even at 2-2 now to Pat Riley. And we are just about 5 minutes shy of the 8 o'clock hour here in the bottom half of the third. See what Ray comes back with here as Powell sets up over the heart of the plate. The 2-2 pitch. And off speed, swung on and grounded first base side. Tommy Everidge has it to make the play himself to first on the 3 unassisted. And that will retire the side in the third. But Rancho does answer the call. They scored 2 runs. They do so on 3 hits, capped off by a 2-run home run by Nate Sutton. Also no errors. And 1 man left on base. We're through 3 here at the epicenter as we head to the top half of the fourth. It's a 3-3 tie between the Ports and Quakes here on 1420 KSTN.
In baseball, there always seems to be one exceptional player that can do it all. The same is true when it comes to your computing needs. That's why more people are turning to Computer XP. Computer XP features complete computer networking, internet, computer sales, and service. In fact, Computer XP is known as the one-stop for all your computer needs. Visit Computer XP in Stockton at 2233 Grand Canal Boulevard, or find out more online at www.c-xp.com. Computer XP. They deliver computer solutions.
Hey, fans, you can hit a home run.
fun with Perfect View shutters. At first base, they'll introduce you to their 100% hardwood plantation-style shutters. At second, they'll coach you through the right colors to match or complement your home's decor. You'll round third with their professional installers. And you'll slide across home with beautiful new shutters. The perfect addition to your home. Owned and operated by Tucker Swift, previous sports player. Call Perfect View Shutters today at 209-464-5615.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Forts with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back 3-3 as we head to the top half of the fourth inning, all tied up at 3 apiece between the Stockton Forts and the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. And you're in the top of the fourth inning for Stockton. It will be Tommy Everidge, Brian Snyder, and Gregorio Petit as Everidge to lead things off as 0 for 1. He grounded out to the third base side to Freddy Sandoval back in his first at bat in the second. Line score identical for both sides. For the Ports, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Exact same for Rancho. Tying things up with 2 runs in the bottom half of the third, capped off by the 2-run home run. First pitch on the way to Everidge to start the fourth is fouled back over the screen and out of play, and the count is 0-1. Again, game 1 of this 3-game series tomorrow. Again, a reminder, is an afternoon ball game, 1:05 start. Take care day here at the ballpark. Here's the line of the 0-1 pitch. Fastball and a called strike in the outside corner as the count is 0-2. Adenhart in the line, the 0-2 pitch, and a breaking ball misses low and away. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. And here's the line of the 1-2 pitch. Fastball and a called strike 3 on the inside corners. Everidge will go down looking. Going to be out number 1 here in the fourth. And that is the third strikeout of the ball game for Adenhart as it brings up the third baseman, Brian Snyder. Snyder is 1 for 1, a single. Advanced on a wild pitch and scored the third of 3 runs after the RBI base knock from Gregorio Petit back in the second. And here's the line in the first pitch. There's a swing at a high chopper to the shortstop, backhanded by Sean Rodriguez. Plenty of time to make the throw, and does right on the money as Snyder is retired. 2 up and 2 down, and brings up the shortstop, Gregorio Petit. Petit 1 for 1, an RBI single in the second. So Petit will step in from the right side. And he has really been a permanent fixture at the shortstop position with the injury to Cliff Pennington. And here's the wind and the pitch. Fastball misses high and outside. 1 ball and no strikes to count to Petit. His more natural position, and here's the line of the 1-0. Is that one a called strike in the outside corner? And the count even at 1-1. Had a chance briefly before the game to talk to an AL scout and mention his marketability now that he's been able to play so many positions in the infield. Here's the 1-1. There's a swing and a foul ball back to the screen, and the count 1-2. And that kind of bodes well for Myron Leslie as well. I had a chance to talk to Todd Steverson after the game on Saturday night against San Jose, and Leslie really coming along well in right field and talked about his marketability now and how he can play several positions. That can only help him down the line in the A's farm system. There's a swing and a grounder up the middle, fielded cleanly by Sean Rodriguez. Plenty of time to make the play, and back-to-back putouts for him as that will retire the side in order in the fourth inning for Stockton. No runs, hits, errors, and none left. We head to the last half of the fourth inning. It's a 3-3 tie between the Forts and Quakes here on 1420 KSTN.
Look inside your Penny Saver. It's in your mailbox every week. Check out the latest and greatest values. They offer coupons for that favorite restaurant you've been craving. You might even dine out on the Penny Saver with their amazing free fees. You gotta move? Grab your Penny Saver. Northern California's best source for savings, coupons, and no questions asked. Free items are just around the corner. The Penny Saver gives you the ability to shop with ease. Their pages are filled with local ads, discount coupons, and don't forget the famous free page, where new items are really free each week. With the Penny Saver, you can sell anything. Your computer, air conditioner, stereo, or microwave oven. If you want tickets to an amusement park or you're ready to buy a car, even if you're searching for a washing machine, for great prices, grab a Penny Saver. You'll have the source for essential goods and services not offered anywhere else right at your fingertips. Grab a Penny Saver today.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
To the bottom half of the fourth, all knotted up at 3 apiece between the Stockton Ports and the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. As for Rancho here in the last half of the fourth inning, it'll be 5-6-7. Michael Collins, Ben Johnson, and Cody Fuller to face the right-hander Jason Ray. Again, a 3-3 tie. Line score still identical at 3 runs, 5 hits, and no errors apiece. So Collins steps in 0 for 1. He flew out to the right fielder Myron Leslie back in the second. There's Jason Ray quickly in the wind. Here's the pitch, breaking ball. That one misses low and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Michael Collins. Just crossed the 8 o'clock hour here in the West Coast. Here's the 1-0 as that one swung on, popped up. Foul, first base side and out of play in the count, even at 1-1. And just a reminder here at the top of the hour, you are log in and tune in to 1420 AM KSTN Stockton, your only home for Stockton Ports baseball all season long. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Collins as he steps into the box. Ray in the wind. Here's the 1-1. That one swung on, lifted foul. First base side and out of play in the count, 1-2. Just a reminder, this broadcast brought to you in part by Solstice Mortgage. Your local lender with 2 convenient locations in Lodi and Stockton. They are proud sponsors of the Player of the Game and during the post-game show, so make sure you stay tuned after the final pitch for the Solstice Mortgage Player of the Game. That one poked foul, third base side. 8 out of play. And the count still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Collins. And if you're joining us late, Stockton Ports drew first blood on the scoreboard as they scored 2 runs in the top half of the first inning. Rancho answered back with 1 in the bottom half of the first inning. Ports added 1 in the top half of the second. And did so after a pair of singles from Snyder and Petit. Here's the 1-2. And that one is swung on and missed. And Collins a strikeout victim. And that is the second strikeout of the young ball game for Ray. And with 1 up and 1 down, brings up the catcher, Ben Johnson. Johnson 0 for 1. He flew out to center fielder Nick Blasey back in the second. But again, the Quakes answering the call with a 2-run bottom half of the third inning. That one highlighted by the 2-run home run from Nate Sutton. So that is where we stand with a 3-3 tie right now as that first pitch misses up and away. An off-speed pitch, and count quickly 1 ball and no strikes to Ben Johnson. Here's the line of the 1-0 pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball left center field. Shading over is Nick Blasey. And he's there to make the catch. He'll put it away for out number 2. 2 up and 2 down. Cody Fuller will step in now with 2 outs. The right fielder 0 for 1. He flew out to the first baseman Tommy Everidge in the second to end the second inning in his first at bat. This is the first of 6 games on the road before we head back to Banner Island Ballpark. Here's the pitch. And a fastball swung on and missed. 92 on the inside corners. The count is 0-1. There's 3 here and 3 in Victorville. It's High Desert Mavericks. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one up and in, almost got a piece of Fuller as he ducks out of the way. And the count even at 1-1. Of course, we'll be back in the day off on Monday, then right back at you for a homestand. And a lot of special events coming up as well. There's a breaking ball low and away. They appeal and say that he did go around and chase the pitch. comes up empty there in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Cody Fuller. Bases cleared, 2 outs. Last half of the 4th inning. It's a 3-3 tie between the Ports and Quakes. Here's the line of the 1-2 pitch. Big breaking ball swung on. He grounded up the middle off the foot of the pitcher, Ray, as it trickles over to the second baseman, Eddie Cornejo. And nothing that he can do with that. That'll be the 6th hit of the ball game for Rancho. And a 2-out base runner is Cody Fuller at the bag at first, as that'll bring up the left fielder, Drew Toussaint. It was a screamer right up the middle, off the mound and off the foot of Jason Ray. Seems to be fine as that one bounced off his foot, trickled over towards the second base side to Eddie Cornejo, but not in enough time to make the play. So a 2-out base runner. Here's Fuller's Toussaint will step in 0 for 1. He popped out. To the second baseman, Eddie Cornejo, back in the 3rd. Here's the stretch. And the pitch. That one misses inside. The count is 1 ball and no strikes to Drew Toussaint. Pretty good crowd on hand as they continue to file in here to the epicenter. Here's the stretch from the Leonards. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Here's a swing and a hard hit ball to left field. That'll drop in for a base hit. Rounding the bag at second is Fuller, but he'll head back. So back-to-back 2-out singles for Fuller, and Toussaint keeps the bottom half of the 4th alive for Rancho. 2 on, 2 out, and that'll bring up to the plate the 9-hole batter, center fielder Josh LeBlanc, who singled and scored back in the 2-run 3rd inning for Rancho. So an RBI opportunity for Rancho Cucamonga. They've taken advantage of the few RBI opportunities they've had so far tonight. And there was a stretch where Ray had retired 6 in a row from the end of the 1st through the 2nd. But in the 1st and 3rd, taking advantage of opportunities have been the Quakes. A check swing, but they say he went around on the breaking ball inside, and the count is 0-1 to Josh LeBlanc. And Fuller at second, Toussaint at first, 2 outs, and a 3-3 tie here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. This time is called. LeBlanc steps out of the batter's box. Now digs right back in. From the letters, a look at second, the 0-1. That one misses inside, and the count even, and a ball and a strike apiece. And here's the stretch. From the letters, the 1-1. And the fastball with a called strike at the inside corner, and the count is 1-2 now to Josh LeBlanc. Actually took a little bit off that one at 88 on the guns. But did a nice job painting a perfect pitch there on the inside part of the plate. So, see if Ray can get out of this 4th inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded. Second base side. Cornejo flips over to Petit, covering the bag to get the forced play, and that will retire the side in the bottom half of the 4th. So no harm, no foul after a pair of 2-out singles for the Quakes. They get no runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base. We're through 4 here in Rancho as we head to the 5th. The 3-3 tie between the Ports and Quakes, and we're back in a few moments for inning number 5 on 1420 KSTN.
Computer problems can leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere. The next time you're faced with a computer emergency, don't sweat it. Just call Home Geeks. We feature repairs, troubleshooting, internet expertise, network setup and hardware upgrades, and supplies at about half the price of others. We also help with viruses, trojans, and internet connectivity issues. So don't panic. For all your in-home computer needs, technical support, and advice, just call Home Geeks at 607-1233. Find us in your yellow pages. Home Geeks, we make house calls.
Your house is one of the largest investments you'll ever make. So when you need roofing services, trust your home to the professionals at California Classic Roofing. They have 16 years of experience in all types of roofing for residential, commercial, and industrial applications. From re-roofing and repairs to spot maintenance, you can count on them for a job done right every time. California Classic Roofing, the leader in quality. Find them in your yellow pages or call 209-463-6874. That's 209-463-6874.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports. Only on 1420 KSTN.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are through 4 as we head to the 5th. It's a 3-3 tie between the Ports and the Quakes. Jason Ray doing a nice job getting out of a jam. A 2-1 and 2 after a pair of 2-out singles. Got out of the bottom half of the 4th inning unscathed. So here in the 5th, we'll see if the Ports can break up the tie. It'll be 9-1-2, Coughlin, Cornejo, and Blasey as Coughlin will lead things off. Grounded into a double play back in the 2nd inning, tries to butt his way on and fouls it back behind the plate. As the count is 0-1 to Cameron Coughlin. And Coughlin batting .289 with those 2 home runs and 24 runs batted in. And that 6-4-3 double play back in the 2nd halted what was a 2-on-1-out rally for Stockton. Line score in the ball game for Stockton: 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Quakes, 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors here in the top half of the 5th inning. Here's the wind from Adenhart to the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Off speed in the outside corner, and the count 0-2. Pitchers are very similar. Right-handers have good stuff. Adenhart again a fastball. It's got it up as high as 97 today. Here's the 0-2. And the breaking ball misses inside as the count and 1-2 to Coughlin. Jason Ray's been consistently at 91 to 92. He's topped out at about 94 with the fastball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Misses inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Cameron Coughlin. As Adenhart lines and delivers the 2-2 pitch. Tried the outside corner, missed a bit low, and the count running full at 3-2 now to Coughlin. And Adenhart we talked about on the Dr. Pepper pregame show. Young right-hander that was highly touted as the best player in high school when he came out, but had some arm problems. There's a swing and a ground ball to the right side. Sutton has it. It'll flip over to the bag at first. And Coughlin is retired for 1 down as it sends it back to the top of the order. And second baseman Eddie Cornejo. He slipped until the 14th round back in 2004. And rehabbed his way back last year. Pitched for the ASL Angels. And 3-3 with a 3.24 ERA. And the first pitch breaking ball misses inside as the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Eddie Cornejo. But they're real big on this right-hander in this organization. Seen a lot of good prospects come through Rancho in recent years. Here's the 1-0. And the called strike at the outside corners, the count even at 1-1. You'll ask anybody who was here last year, and the name Brandon Wood will continue to come up as he shattered team and league home run records. Here's the 1-1, swinging a high bouncer up the middle towards the right side. Charging is Sutton, the second baseman, has time to make the throw. And right on the money is Cornejo is retired on the 4-3, 2 up and 2 down, and that brings up the center fielder, Nick Blasey. Blasey 2 for 2, has singled, doubled, and scored a run. So much like Jason Ray back in the 1st and 2nd, Adenhart, who settles in now, has retired 6 in a row as he steps in from the right side. And Adenhart winds and delivers the first pitch. Fastball swung on and skied to right field, right near the line, racing over Cody Fuller. And he will find some room to make the catch, put it away, and that will return the side here in the top half of the 5th inning. Now the Ports go in order, no runs, 6 errors and none left. We shift gears to the last half of the 5th here in Rancho. It's a 3-3 tie between Stockton and the Quakes, and we're back again in just 60 seconds for the bottom half of the 5th on 1420 KSTN.
When you're looking for beautiful flowers, look no further than OK Flowers and Harding Way Floral. They have flowers for all occasions, weddings, funerals, or any special event. They also have a variety of plants, gift baskets, balloons, and more. And they even deliver. Call 466-9506 for OK Flowers, 3909 Northwest Plain, or 943-7187 for Harding Way Floral, 445 East Harding Way. Serving you for over 49 years. OK Flowers and Harding Way Floral in Stockton.
Mancow's Morning Madhouse.
Hi, it's Mancow. Heard the bartender, Christopher Walken Theater. Phone scams 10 minutes after every hour. We do more in a half hour than any other radio show does in a week. Get a Mancow on. Get up with us right here. Mancow's Morning Madhouse. Get your Mancow on Monday morning starting at 5 a.m. Join me, Mancow, and my whole Morning Madhouse crew on 1420 KSTN.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Force, only on 1420 KSTN.
To the last half of the fifth here in Rancho, a 3-3 tie between the Forts and Quakes. With a good pitching matchup here tonight. Again, both right-handers have had stints of retiring 6 and now for Adenhart, 7 in a row retired. And for Jason Ray here in the last half of the fifth inning, he will face top half of the order, 1, 2, 3. It'll be Nate Sutton, Freddy Sandoval, and Sean Rodriguez. And Sandoval will lead things off. He's had quite a ball game so far, 2 for 2. He has singled and scored a run in the first and had a 2-run home run back in the third. So Sutton will step in from the left side. See how Ray decides to pitch him now. The wind in the first pitch. And a big breaking ball leaves it up and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Sutton. And here's the wind of the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on and popped up. Right center field. Fairly deep as well. Backtracking is Myron Leslie there to make the catch. And he will put it away for 1 down in the fifth as it brings up the third baseman, Freddy Sandoval. Sandoval 1 for 2, a single in the first, and he flew out to the second baseman, Eddie Cornejo, in the third. Just about 20 minutes after 8 o'clock here on the West Coast. And flying through the early portion of the ballgame here in a good pitching matchup. Here's the pitch. The fastball or an off-speed pitch misses up and away, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Hard-throwing right-handers have worked both sides of the plate nicely. Here's the 1-0. That one misses inside. And a bit low as well, and the count even at 1-1 to Sandoval. And Sean Rodriguez is the man on deck. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a hard hit ball right side. Skips up a lot waist high for Everidge. Scoops it up and will make the play himself on the 3 unassisted for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down brings up the aforementioned Rodriguez, who had a sac fly with an RBI in the first inning. And double boat was stranded in the 30s, 1 for 1. Rodriguez ready to step in here with 2 outs and the bases clear. And Jason Ray has been a real nice addition to the Stockton Port starting rotation. Joined us back on the 23rd of June. There's a breaking ball. They called strike in the outside corner, and the count is 0-1. Ports have been the recipients of some quality arms as of late. We talk about Jeff Gray in the bullpen now, and he's a flamethrower. Here's the 0-1. And that breaking ball misses low and outside, and the count even at a ball and a strike apiece. And some great versatile arms in the bullpen and rotation, as well as Ryan Ford. And Fred Peterson have been great for spot starts as that one fouled back to the screen. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Rodriguez. I think Ford has been equally in the rotation as much as he has been in the bullpen, and Sean Peterson has been really a long reliever that's given us some spot starts. And here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled back over the screen and out of play. Still 1 ball and 2 strikes to Sean Rodriguez. Again, bases clear, 2 outs. Last half of the fifth inning here at the epicenter in a 3-3 tie between the Ports and Quakes. See if Ray can put him away right here, the 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball swung on and chopped foul right behind the plate. And the count still remains at a ball and 2 strikes to Rodriguez. This day is slowly fading into a dark Southern California night. That's in the heart of the San Gabriel Mountains. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball gets a piece of Rodriguez, so a hit by pitch will put him on base and keep the fifth inning alive for Rancho as it brings up the first baseman, Pat Riley. Tried to come inside with a breaking ball and did it 76 miles an hour. Obviously not intentional at hitting Rodriguez, but just got a piece of him. So he will step in from the left side with 1 on, 2 outs. And again, a 3-3 tie here in the last half of the fifth. No activity in either bullpen right now as starters have been in control. From the letters, here's the pitch on the way to Riley, and there's a called strike on the outside corner as the count is 0-1 to Riley, who was struck out and grounded into a 3 unassisted. Again, that back in the third. Set at the letters, the 1-0 pitch, or the 0-1 pitch, I should say, misses up and away, and the count is even at 1-1. Rancho scored a run in the first, 2 in the third, and might get out of a jam in the fourth inning, but here in the fifth, 1 on with 2 outs. There's a swing and a slow roller to the right side. Charging is Eddie Cornejo. He'll make the flip over to the bag at first, and Riley is retired as well. There's the Quakes in the fifth inning. So nothing doing after the 2-out hit by pitch issued to Sean Rodriguez. They get no runs, hits errors, and 1 left. As we are now through 5, and it's official rain or shine as we head to the 6th. Still tied up at 3 apiece between the Forts and Quakes, and back in a few moments for the 6th inning here on 1420 KSTN.
Let's face it, telecommunications is making the world a smaller place. Nowadays, it's easier than ever to do business by phone or on the internet if you have a reliable telecommunications service. Around here, more business leaders are choosing O'Leary Telephone and Data. They're an authorized Panasonic business telephone system dealer, also featuring VoIP systems, Panasonic web cameras, locally owned and operated since 1984. Find out more by calling 209-530-1750 or log on to O'LearyTel.com, your solution to unnecessary phone system contracts. Are you suffering from an injury? Remember, even minor injuries can lead to chronic pain. Before you take any medication, be sure to see your physician for a complete exam and consultation. A good health reminder from the folks at Pine Street Physical and Occupational Therapy. They feature complete treatment and rehabilitation for work-related auto accidents and long-forgotten sports injuries. Most insurance plans are accepted, so have your physician refer you to Pine Street Physical and Occupational Therapy. They'll get you back into the game of life.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Forts with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beirudi on 1420 KSTN.
We are through 5 here at the Epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga as we head to the top half of the 6th inning, game 1 of this 3-game series. So far, so good for both sides. It's been mostly pitching as we thought it would be. 2 quality right-handers in Jason Wright for the Stockton Forts and Nick Adenhart for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. And here in the 6th, see if Stockton can chip away and break up this tie ball game. They have 3, 4, 5 to get things done. It's Myron Leslie, Landon Powell, and John McCurdy, the proverbial meat of the order here in the 6th. As Leslie leads things off, batting from the left side. First pitch on the way. There's a swing and a foul ball third base side as it ricochets off the screen, and the count 0-1. To Myron Leslie, 1 for 2, had the RBI single with a run scored after the pass ball in the first. Here's the line of the 0-1. And the fastball misses high and outside as the count even. Had a ball and a strike. And here's the line of the 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing at a high fly ball, but doesn't travel too far and right as Cody Fuller shades over about 2 steps, makes the catch. And 1 out in the 6th as it brings up the catcher, Landon Powell. Powell is grounded out. He's also walked back in the third, 0 for 1. And we'll be batting from the left side. Still taking a look at the bullpens. No activity for either side. I would imagine that Adenhart will have a bit of a shorter pitch count here. Now just his 4th outing of the season. Here's the first pitch. Here's a swing at a hard hit ball. Left center field. Backtracking is LeBlanc, and he's going to race over to make the catch at the rim of the warning track. There were quite a bit of acreage out there on left center to make the catch and took away extra bases from Landon Powell. And that'll be out number 2 and brings up the DH, John McCurdy. McCurdy is struck out and grounded out. He is 0 for 2 on the evening. And came into the contest, homered in 3 of his last 4 games, batting .301. So bases cleared, 2 outs, and here's the line from Adenhart in the pitch. This one misses up and in, fastball at 92, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to John McCurdy. And now the line of the 1-0. And the fastball in the outside corner, a called strike exactly where Ben Johnson was setting up. Paints the fence there nicely on the outside corner, and the count even at 1-1. Here's the line of the 1-1 pitch, and a curveball misses up and in. 2 balls and a strike to count to the Stockton Porch designated hitter here in Game 1, John McCurdy. And here's the line of the 2-1 pitch, another breaking ball to the outside corner, and a called strike again. Here's the count even at 2-2. McCurdy did not agree with the call there. A quick word for the home plate umpire. And here's the 2-2 pitch, and a fastball misses low as the count running full at 3-2. Again, a refresher for the umpires at tonight's ballgame. Behind the plate is Matt Hensel. On the base is Bradley Lawhead. Hensel's called a pretty reasonable strike zone for both sides so far. Here's the line of the 3-2 payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. A drop, strike 3. Let the catcher, Ben Johnson, will flip over to the bag at first. And the Kate 2-3 will retire the side here in the 6th inning. The Ports go in order. And they do so for the 3rd straight inning. And that is now 10 in a row sent down by Nick Adenhart. And for the Ports, no runs, 6 errors, and none left. And we are through 5 1/2, and we'll head to the last half of the 6th inning. Still have the beauty here, folks. A 3-3 tie between the Ports and Quakes, and we're back in just a few moments for the bottom half of the 6th inning on 1420 KSTN.
You are the purpose of our work.
The reason we run.
The reason we serve.
We will treat you with respect.
Like our family and friends. Because you have feelings and emotions.
We are dependent on you.
The lifeblood
of our company.
We will treat you like our business depends on it.
Because it does.
Come visit your local Les Schwab Tire Center and experience for yourself why we say you're the reason.
Camping? Shopping? A road trip to someplace new and exciting? Before you pack up and hit the road this summer, drive into your local Les Schwab Tire Center. Get a free tire, brake, and battery check. Grab some free coffee and popcorn. If you need tires, save on the Wildcat AC, Z800 Ultra, and more. And, of course, everything you buy at Les Schwab comes with the legendary warranty you don't pay extra for. Let the summer fun begin now at the Les Schwab sign.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
Last half of the 6th inning, still knotted at 3 apiece between the Ports and Quakes. Jason Ray and Adenhart, nice little pitching matchup with these two right-handers. And here in the last half of the 6th inning for Rancho Cucamonga, it'll be Michael Collins who leads things off. Collins followed by Johnson and Fuller. 5-6-7 trip to the order for Rancho. There's Ray in the line. Here's the pitch, and a breaking ball swung on, line down the third base side, but just foul. Wide of the bag and out of play, and the count is 0-1 to Michael Collins. Line score of the ball game, well, it hasn't changed a whole bunch. For the Ports, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Quakes, 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors. Adenhart has sent 10 Ports in a row down in order. And Jason Ray had a streak of 6 in a row retired that was snapped after a pair of 2-out singles from Cody Fuller and Drew Toussaint. And since then, he has retired 4 of the last 5 that he's faced. Here's the line of the 0-1. And the fastball, the called strike. In the inside corner, the count is 0-2 to Michael Collins. And you're right at the 8:30 mark here on the West Coast. Here's the 1 and the 0-2 pitch. That fastball misses high on the count, 1-2. to Michael Collins. And Collins flew out and struck out. When he struck out, he was the second of what has been 2 strikeouts on the night for Jason Wright. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Played on the fastball, fouls it back, first base side and out of play. And the count's still 1-2 to Collins. I'll mention some great promotions coming up at Banner Island Ballpark. Upcoming homestands later in the month of July and early on in August as well, as that one fouled back and the count's still 1-2. I want to give you guys a heads up once again. Thursday, July 27th is the return of Country Western Farm Night. Should be a lot of fun and a lot of national publicity for that last year. There'll be a pregame cow milking contest between players on the field. Obviously going to have the in-game watermelon eating contest and egg tossing competition. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one misses in the count even at 2-2. You've word that San Joaquin Farm Bureau will be on hand dropping off many farm decorations in the area and working on getting some good animals out of the park as well. Here's the 2-2. That one fouled back and out of play. Still 2-2 the count. So once again, make sure to make plans to come out to Country Western Farm Night. Brought to you by the San Joaquin Farm Bureau. The 27th of July coming up soon for one of our homestands at Banner Island Ballpark. Call the front office for tickets at 644-1900. Get your tickets today. As that one fouled back and out of play. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes to Michael Collins. Bases cleared, no outs. Just started the bottom half of the 6th inning and a 3-3 tie. It's been a long at bat here for Collins. He's fought off a couple of pitches now. His 7th pitch of the at bat coming up. Time called as he quickly steps out of the box. In Stockton, much like the first half of the season, we've been playing the old seesaw battle with the 500 mark. And Stockton at 11-12 can get back to the 500 mark with a victory tonight. That fastball up and in. True definition of theme music there. Turned his head sideways, and that could have been ugly there for Collins, but got out of the way in time. And the count running full at 3-2, so we'll see that brushes him off the plate a little bit. Here's the 1 and the 3-2 payoff pitch. There's a swing and a high chopper up the middle. Taken on 2 hops by Petit. And he will fire over to first quickly on the 6-3, and that'll be out number 1 in the 6th as it brings up the catcher, Ben Johnson. Johnson is 0 for 2, has flown out twice to center fielder Nick Blasey. He steps in from the left side. The Quakes had not scored since the 2-run home run in the bottom half of the 3rd inning from Nate Sutton. There's a swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. And the Ports had not scored a run since the top half of the 2nd inning. A pair of singles from Smetter and Petit that knocked in the Stockton Ports third baseman. Here's the 0-1 pitch. There's a swing at a high fly ball, fairly deep out towards right center field. Shading over is Nick Blasey, and he will make the catch at the rim of the warning track in right center. As he puts it away for out number 2, and that brings up the right fielder, Cody Fuller. Fuller's 1 for 2, flew out in the 2nd and singled in the 4th. The base is cleared, 2 outs, and we'll see a break and complete the 1-2-3 inning. He's done that once tonight. That was in the 2nd. Here's the line of the first pitch. And a breaking ball. Looks like it hits Fuller between the shoulder blades. So, he will not get his 1-2-3 inning in the 2nd straight inning that he has hit a Quakes batter with a breaking ball. That was a 12-6 curve, and him on his way down 72 miles an hour. And again, not a purpose pitch there, as it just cut too much of the plate on the inside corner. So 1 on, 2 outs for Drew Toussaint as he steps in 1 for 2, is also flown out and singled. Here's the stretch from the letters. First pitch on the way. Fastball in the outside corner. Snap throw back to the bag at first, but sliding back in there safely is Fuller. So the count 1-0 to Drew Toussaint. He did not miss off the plate by much, and Landon Powell did not have a chance to frame the pitch because obviously quickly made the throw down to the bag at first. Here's the stretch in the 1-0. Fastball swung on and hit fairly deep out towards left center, but right at Cameron Coughlin. And he is there to make the catch. He'll put it away. So nothing doing for Rancho after the hit by pitch issue to Cody Fuller. As they get no runs, hits, errors, and one left. Got a beauty here in game one as we're through 6 and we climb now to the 7th. Still knotted up at 3 apiece between the Ports and Quakes here on 1420 KSTN.
Have you ever thought about becoming a foster parent and improving the life of a child in need? This is Landon Powell of the Stockton Ports. For more than 40 years, Agape Village's foster family agency has been committed to healing hearts and building families. But they cannot do it alone. Find out how you can become a foster parent by calling Agape Villages at 1-800-566-2225. The Stockton Ports, Butler Construction, and New York Life encourage you to make a difference in the life of a child.
How far a team goes in the season often depends on the coach. It's the coach's job to make the right decision every time. When you're deciding on the right loan program for your home or business, Hilltop Lending Corporation, one of the largest wholesale brokerages in California, can coach you in the right direction. They specialize in wholesale loans, residential and commercial lending. They work for over 200 banks and lenders. For a free consultation, give them a call at 209-951-2230. That's 209-951-2230. Hilltop Lending Corporation, the nation's premier lender.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
Through 6, we are now heading to the top half of the 7th inning, tied up at 3 apiece. For Stockton, 3 runs, 5 hits, no errors. For the Quakes, 3 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. And here in the top half of the 7th inning for Stockton, it will be Tommy Everidge, Brian Snyder, and Gregorio Petit. 6, 7, 8 in the 7th inning for Stockton. As Everidge steps in 0 for 2, is grounded out and struck out in 2 at-bats. It has certainly been the starters tonight that have been the headlines of this ball game. Jason Wright for the Stockton Ports and Nick Adenhart for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Adenhart has sent 10 in a row in order. And Stockton so far tonight is that fastball misses outside of the count 1-0. Last Ports to reach base with Landon Powell to walk back in the 3rd. And once again, we are now here at the top of the 7th. Here's the 1-0 pitch. The breaking ball misses low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Tommy Everidge. He comes into the ball game batting at a clip of 241, 11 home runs, which is good for 3rd on the team, and 51 RBIs. That one misses low and away in the count 3-0. He has typically been in the 3 order, or in the 3 hole in the order for the Stockton Ports in the past 10 ball games. Slotted in the 6th hole. Tonight, here's the 3-0 pitch. That one misses inside, so a walk has been issued on 4 straight pitches, and that breaks a streak of 10 in a row sent down by Nick Adenhart. And that'll bring up the 3rd baseman, Brian Snyder, who's 1 for 2 with a single and a run scored in the 2nd. No time is called as the catcher, Ben Johnson, out there quickly chatting with Adenhart. He has thrown quite a few pitches here tonight. And we're in the 7th inning, and there's 1, 2, 3 innings helping him out. There's Adenhart in the stretch from the letters. Here's the pitch. And there's a called strike at the outside corners. The count is 0-1. Just received word that is now his 98th pitch of the night, so he is awfully close to his pitch count. Here's the stretch from the letters, the 0-1, a breaking ball, and a called strike in the outside corner, and the count is 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to count to Brian Snyder. Leading off the bag at first is Tommy Everidge. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And it misses inside the breaking ball. The count is 1-2 now to Snyder. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That one misses inside. The count even at 2-2. There's some activity up and going for Stockton right now. I believe that is Trent Peterson getting loose in the bullpen for the Forts. That one misses inside. And the count full of 3-2. Jason Ray awfully close to the 100-pitch mark as well. And here's the stretch from the letters. The 3-2 payoff pitch on the way for the right-hander. There's a swing and a ground ball up the middle. Takes a room service hop over the diving glove of Nate Sutton into right center field. A lucky break for Stockton. It looked like it could have been a double play ball. But instead it is a single, puts 2 on. With nobody out, it brings up the shortstop, Gregorio Petit. It was sharply grounded up the middle, and Sutton diving their hand side towards the bag at second. Looked like he was going to eye it up and quickly flip back to the bag, but it just skipped right over his glove into right center field. So the Forts, their 6th hit of the ballgame, 2 on and no out here in the 7th. Trying to break up this 3-3 tie, and that'll bring up the shortstop, Gregorio Petit. Petit 1 for 2, an RBI single back in the 2nd. And that'll get someone up and throwing in the bullpen for Rancho. Here's Everidge at second, Snyder at first. Here's the pitch. There's a bunt down the first base side, fouling out of play. Popped it up, but Riley did not have enough chance to get down there to make the catch, and the count is 0-1 to Gregorio Petit. I would imagine with 2 on and no out, he will again be bunting here with an 0-1 count. Very crucial to get these 2 base runners in scoring position with no outs, because they can both be at second and third with 1 down and a single away from making it a 5-3 ball game. So we'll see if he can get the bunt down right here at the stretch. Showing bunt. There's a pickoff throw to second, and he airmails it into right center field. Advancing now down to third. Here comes the throw. It will be cut off, and now in a rundown between first and second is Brian Snyder. And he will be safe at second base. He gets around the tag. A lucky break again for Stockton. And they're going to come out and argue this call. But again, he got caught in a pickle between first and second base. As Tommy Everidge easily advanced in the wild throw that went into right center field. That scored the E1. But Snyder really probably shouldn't have headed towards second base, as they threw it right into the second baseman, and they had him frozen in between first and second. But to his credit, Snyder did not give up. And then looked like he just ran completely around the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez, and then a head-first slide in the bag. And not being tagged, they say that he is safe. So runners at second and third now. And the count's still 0-1, and you can believe now that Petit will be swinging away. He won't have to sacrifice himself for the team. And right now they're arguing the call. I'm guessing the argument here for the manager for Rancho Cucamonga, Bobby Mitchell, may be saying that he ran out of the baseline. But that's more of a gray area when you're running from first to second. And looks like he stayed within his parameters. A head-first slide, so Snyder will be safe. So 2 in scoring position. No outs as the count is 0-1 to Gregorio Petit. And again, he will probably have the bunt sign taken off, and he'll be swinging away right here. And if he can at least get the ball up in the air for a possible sac fly, we could break up this 3-3 tie. Here's the stretch from the letters of the 0-1. And a called strike in the outside corner. And here's the count, 0-2 now to Petit. Josh LeBlanc shading heavily towards right center. A very sizable gap in left center field for Petit. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And takes it on the outside corner for a ball, 1-2. Again, Everidge at third, Snyder at second base. Which broke up a streak of what was 10 in a row sent down by Adenhart when the inning started. There's a swing and a high chopper to the shortstop. And Rodriguez will look down at third, then make the throw to first, and that's exactly what they were hoping for. Was Rancho, as both base runners have to stay put, and that'll be 1 out on the 6-3. And it brings up the left fielder Coughlin. Had he hit it to the right side, certainly a better chance to bring the run across. When Coughlin steps in now, has grounded out twice, once into a 6-4-3 double play. Here's the stretch in the pitch. There's a bunt, first base side, dives right in front of the plate. Coming in to score Everidge, no throw to make it first. A perfectly placed bunt from Cameron Coughlin. And the Stockton Ports have now taken a 4-3 lead here in the top of the 7th. You can't bunt a baseball any better than that. Again, not too far off the plate down the first base side. Just kind of died out there in no man's land. So credit the infield bunt single in the RBI as Everidge scores. That moves Snyder down to third base now. Ports on top, 4-3. Sends it back to the top of the order as well. And second baseman Eddie Cornejo. And again, another spot where it's good the Stockton Ports to be in this position because runners at the corners, one down. Cornejo typically likes to hit the ball to the right side. And if he can do so, that may bring Snyder home and give the Ports a little bit more breathing room. Here's the stretch from the letters. The pitch, he is showing bunt. Pulls back, but a called strike nonetheless on the inside corner. And the count is 0-1 to Eddie Cornejo. See if they have the bunt sign on again for him. And he does a great job hitting to the right side, and that's what they're looking for right now. His time is called, and Cornejo steps out of the batter's box. Runners in the corners, one down. One has come across here in the top of the 7th. Ports now on top, 4-3. There's the fake to third look at first move from Adenhart, and he is getting towards the end of the line for him tonight as the activity continues in the pen for Rancho. Looks like Trent Peterson's ready to go in the pen for Stockton. There's another pickoff throw back to first, and again, sliding back in there safely is Cameron Coughlin. What a huge thing it is to have someone like Coughlin who can lay down that bunt. Bottom half of the order, he's been at the top of the order, but just to get on base, have speed, and get the Ports a chance to cash in on this opportunity is huge. There's a swing and a flare in the left field, a base hit. Coming in to score is Snyder from third base. Moving into scoring position at second is Coughlin, the one-out RBI single for Eddie Cornejo, and the Stockton Ports now with a 2-run lead at 5-3. Rarely since he has come back to Stockton have we seen Eddie Cornejo go the opposite way. Again, he's had a hot start. Most of his hits have come to right and right center, but goes the opposite way towards left field. And now a 2-run lead at 5-3, and a conference on the mound. Don't know how many more bullets left in the gun Nick Adenhart has. But Stockton with 2 runs and counting with just one down here in the inning. Second base is Cameron Coughlin. At first base, Eddie Cornejo, and they will continue to stall here to make the bullpen up and ready to go. And we're still 2-on-1 down. Nick Blasey will step in, 2 for 3, a single, a double, and a fly. Has also scored a run. That was back in the first. If you're Jason Ray, you got to feel good about the support they're getting now against the tough right-hander who hasn't given up much. So Blasey steps in. Here's the stretch from Adenhart from the letters. Look at second in the pitch. There's a swing at a high top fly, fairly shallow in right field. Fuller is there to make the catch, tagging from second. Heading down to third is Coughlin. Here comes the throw. Safe at third base, Coughlin. Throw looked like it beat him there, but a good slide from Coughlin. He is now 90 feet away with 2 outs. You want to bring up the right fielder, Myron Leslie. Would have been a bang-bang play over there at the bag at third. It looks like the ball may have beat him there, but a good slide nonetheless. Coughlin doing all the little things in this inning. So runners at the corners, 2 outs for Myron Leslie. Leslie came into the ballgame batting .280 with the team-leading 13 home runs and 64 RBIs. And here tonight, 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the first. Also grounded out and flew out in his last at bat to the right fielder Cody Fuller back in the 6th inning. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Here's a swing at a hard hit ball to right field, a base hit. Coming in to score, Cameron Coughlin. Slamming on the brakes at second will be Eddie Cornejo. But an RBI base knock for Leslie, his second RBI of the ball game. And the Stockton Ports now with a 3-run lead at 6-3. And that's going to be good morning, good afternoon, and good night for Nick Adenhart. And a slow walk out to the mound for Bobby Mitchell, and we'll see who they have for the sprint call to the bullpen. Pitch to Jem up until this frame, but the Ports taking advantage down the stretch. So a sprint call to the bullpen with 2 on, 2 out. We'll be back in a few moments to see all about the new Rancho Cucamonga Quakes pitcher right after this on 1420 KSTN.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out for $1.
The Stockton Porch season is in full swing, so hurry to your local Sprint store and pick up a fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon. Take the whole family out to the ball game for only $1 each and catch all the action from Sprint Home Run Hill. Get your fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon and the best wireless phones and service only at Sprint, proud sponsor of the Stockton Porch.
Buy me some peanuts and a cell phone. I love to see the Porch play at home.
The Army National Guard.
My name is Cheryl Hatcher. I joined the National Guard because of September 11th. I wanted to make the difference in the world. The Guard is a huge help to the community. It's amazing just the support that we give to the community and that the community gives to us. If you were someone coming to me saying, I want to join the Guard, I would absolutely say that it's really one of the best decisions. We're going to give you your education. There's no way of saying, I can't afford it. Hear the story about how the Guard changed my life at 1-800-GO-GUARD.com.
Sponsored by the California National Guard. Aired by the California Broadcasters Association and this station.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Rose Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, a sprint call to the bullpen here with 2 on and 2 out after a 3-run top half of the 7th inning and counting. Here for Stockton is Landon Powell, and I'll step in and face a left-hander, and the new pitcher on the mound is the southpaw Brad Beck, 5'11", 185-pounder out of Arlington, Virginia. Give you the rest of his stats in just a moment. Here's the stretch and a pickoff throw back to the bag at second as Eddie Cornejo slides back in there safely. It's Cornejo at second, Myron Leslie at first, 2 outs, Ports up 6-3. 4 singles and a walk in the inning for Stockton. And been able to break up this 3-3 tie, now 6-3 score. Here's the first pitch on the way. And Powell takes from the outside corner for a ball 1-0. Now the stats on Beck 0-1 and a 1.59 ERA. Now in his 9th appearance of the season. In 11 and a third innings of work, he's given up 2 earned runs on 9 total hits. Here's the breaking ball, misses inside 2-0. He has struck out 8. He has walked just 2. And batters batting .220 against them. Again, 2 on, 2 out. 2 balls and no strikes to count to Landon Powell batting from the right side. Here's the 2-0. And a breaking ball at 84 on the guns. Misses inside, and the count 3-0 now to Landon Powell. And John McCurdy waiting on deck, and although he's at an 0 for 3, if you're a Quakes fan, you don't want to load the bases for a guy batting close to 500 his last 10 games, but that's exactly what they're going to do as that pitch misses up and in. The walk has been issued to Powell, and that'll load him up with Ports with 2 outs for John McCurdy. McCurdy has struck out twice and grounded out once. He's 0 for 3. A big RBI opportunity. Ports can blow this game wide open with one swing of the bat right here. As Beck in the stretch from the letters. First pitch, breaking ball, and a called strike at the outside corners. The count is 0-1. Again, line score the Ports 6 runs, 9 hits, no errors now. And the Quakes 3 runs, 7 hits, and an error. Beck in the stretch from the letters, the 1-0 pitch. Here's a swing and a high fly ball out towards left field, back to the warning track. It's a one-hopper off the wall, and watch him run. Coming in to score is Cornejo. Right behind him is Leslie. Gliding all the way down to third base, Landon Powell. And a 2-out stand-up, 2 RBI double off the bat of John McCurdy. And the Stockton Porch now up in a big way by a score of 8-3. You've now officially batted around in the inning. And John McCurdy picking up right where he left off in the San Jose series. Picks up a couple of RBIs. 2 RBI double. It's now 8-3, and that'll bring up Tommy Everidge, who started off the inning, walking, advancing on an error in scoring. And takes a strike at the outside corner. Here's the count 0-1. And Adenhart will be charged with those 2. Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball with a called strike at the inside corner, and the count 1-2 now to Tommy Everidge. Here's the stretch from the letters to pitch. Trying to come inside, missed a bit low, and the count even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 outs. Here in the top half of the 7th inning. 5 have come across to give the Ports an 8-3 lead. Here's the pitch, a check swing and a breaking ball inside. Everidge does not offer at the pitch, and the count running full now, 3-2. First base is vacant, so he may not get the best pitch to hit here. Actually, a correction on the scoreboard. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2 pitch. There's a swing and a high fly ball. No one slicing in foul ground down the right field line, and out there to make the catch is Pat Riley, as that will retire the side here in the 7th, but not before. Stockton takes advantage in a big way. They score 5 runs. They do so on 5 hits, 4 singles, and a double. Also 1 error. 2 men left on base. It's time to stand up and stretch here in Rancho, Cucamonga. 8-3 your score. It's the Ports on top of the Quakes here at 1420 KSTN.
Don't wait any longer. Find relief today. If you suffer from headaches, neck, or back pain, go to Quality Chiropractic. Whether you've been injured in the car, at work, or on the field, Dr. Mike Arishin can help you. He specializes in whiplash, laser therapy, and lumbar disc decompression therapy. Dr. Mike doesn't use drugs or surgery. He treats the cause of your pain. Go to qualitychiropractic.net or call 957-9901. Find relief from pain today at Quality Chiropractic, 5637 North Pershing Avenue in Stockton.
Don Juan Foods is the place for all your favorite south of the border treats and delicious Mexican food like tamales, burritos, and carnitas. They also carry the freshest Mexican bread and delicious Mexican pastries. You can dine in or take out, with 2 locations to serve you: 1731 Crows Landing Road in Modesto and 2015 Mariposa Road right here in Stockton. Locally owned and operated by the Bautista family. Believe me when I say you're going to love Don Juan Foods.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports. Only on 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just finished stretch time as we head to the bottom half of the 7th inning here at Rancho, Cucamonga. Stockton with a big 5-run top of the 7th inning have taken an 8-3 lead. Live score in the ballgame for Stockton: 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. For the Quakes, 3 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error. Got a new pitcher on the mound for Stockton. It looks like it is the left-hander Trent Peterson. We'll talk about him in a moment. But again, this in every 7th inning stretch of the 2006 Stockton Ports season is brought to you in part by Quality Chiropractic. If you suffer from headaches, neck, or back pain, call Dr. Mike Arishin at 957-9901 to give you fast, effective relief and have you back to normal in no time at all. Also, make sure you come in today for a relaxing therapeutic massage. That's Quality Chiropractic, 5637 North Pershing Avenue in Stockton. Proud sponsors of the 7th inning stretch for the 2006 Stockton Ports. Again, new pitcher on the mound is the southpaw Trent Peterson. Here's the first pitch on the way to LeBlanc. Misses, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. The stats here on Peterson coming into this ball game in just a moment. Here's the pitch on the way, and that one misses upstairs. Trent Peterson, well, his numbers continue to improve. The former Seminole at Florida State is 3-5 with a 3.79 ERA. Is that breaking ball? Misses up and away, 2-1. In 26 games, he has 3 spot starts, the rest in relief. Now in 51 and a third innings, he's given up just 25 earned runs. No one swung on and missed, and the count even at 2-2. 64 total hits, striking out 45, walking 23, and batters batting .281 against them. Again, his ERA drops further and further every time he is on the mound. He has done a sensational job for Stockton. There's a swing and a ground ball to the left side, right to Petit. Makes the routine throw to first, and that'll be out number 1. In the bottom half of the 7th brings the top half of the order up, and second baseman Nate Sutton. And he'll be followed by third baseman Freddy Sandoval in the 2-hole for Rancho. half of the third all the way to the top half of the seventh. There's the starting pitcher for Stockton, Jason Ray. And for Rancho, Cucamonga, Nick Adenhart, both cruising through those frames. The pitch missed a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to the outside corner to Sutton. Well, the Ports of the big 5-run, 5-hit top of the seventh have jumped out in a big way. That one fouled back third base side out of play, and the count is 0-2 now to Sutton. So Jason Ray does leave with the lead. Those 6 full innings, and he does a nice job giving up 3 runs on 7 hits. There's a swing at a one-hopper third base side. Snyder right on top of that one makes the perfect throw down to first, and that'll be out number 2. 2 up and 2 down brings up the third baseman Freddy Sandoval. He's 1 for 3 with a single back in the first. He's also caught stealing. He has also flown out and grounded out in 3 total plate appearances. So 2 up and 2 down. Peterson to the line. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball at 86 on the inside corner, but blew it right past him. He's more effective with his fastball than many. Won't light up the radar guns, but knows how to use it. That one misses inside, and the count even a 1-1. And here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a shot up the middle, and that'll find its way into center field for a base hit. Right past the mound under the glove of Peterson and trickled over the bag into center field. So a 2-out single for Freddy Sandoval. That'll bring up the shortstop, Sean Rodriguez, who has a sac fly with an RBI in the first, a double in the third, and was hit by a pitch in the fifth. We are just 2 minutes after 9 o'clock here on the West Coast on 1420 AM KSTN Stockton. So Rodriguez steps in, and Peterson will have to be careful here as again, he has been awfully dangerous against Ports pitching this season. There's a swing at it. Shot foul, third base side and out of play as the count is 0-1. The ball's at 1 strike, 1 on, 2 outs. Bottom half of the 7th inning. Ports up 8-3. A 5-run lead. Here's the 0-1 pitch and a breaking ball misses inside. And it's the count even at 1-1. As Peterson gets the sign set at the belt to look over at first. There's the pickoff throw, not the A move, but they're trying to keep him close at the bag. Still 1-1 to count. In the stretch from the letters, the 1-1. Time was called right in the middle of the windup there as stepping out of the batter's box. Sean Rodriguez, so that pitch does not count. Still even at 1 ball and 1 strike apiece. And here's the stretch from the letters, the 1-1. There's a swing and a hard hit ball to left, but right at Coughlin there to make the catch, and he will put that away to retire the side of the bottom half of the 7th inning. And for the Quakes, nothing doing after the 2-out single from Freddy Sandoval. They get no runs. It's 1 hit, no errors, 1 left as we're 3-7 and we head to 8. It's 8-3 Ports on top of the Quakes. Back in a few moments for the 8th inning here on 1420 KSTN.
Lucas Business Systems has been delivering results to businesses in California's Central Valley since 1904. Lucas Business Systems personalizes solutions to meet the individual needs of their customers, from the small office to the large multi-user organizations, using the Konica Minolta BizHub product line of multifunctional copiers and printers. They provide your office with advanced document imaging and management solutions. Lucas Business Systems is proud to be the official technology provider of the Stockton Ports and wishes the team the best in Banner Island Ballpark with their affiliate, the Ultimate Days.
A regular training program keeps a ball player off the disabled list. A regular maintenance on your transmission will keep your car off the disabled list. High-Speed Transmissions is Stockton's finest transmission shop with years of experience with standard and automatic transmissions and clutches. Whether it's foreign or American vehicles, you can rely on them for expert transmission repair and replacement. Visit High-Speed Transmissions at 901 West Fremont or give them a call at 209-943-1590. They're open Saturdays.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Force. Only on 1420 KSTS.
Ladies and gentlemen, 3-7 as we head to the top half of the 8th inning. Ports clinging to a 5-run lead at 8-3. And we'll try to add some breathing room here. In the top half of the 8th for Stockton. Should be an interesting frame. Again, it will be an opportunity for Gregorio Petit to lead things off. I'm sorry, it'll be Snyder, Petit, and Coughlin, 7, 8, 9 to start off this 8th inning as the Stockton Forts batted around and then some in the 7th. But they will do so against a new pitcher on the mound as the right-hander. And that is number 30, Michelle Simard, who is 6'4", 200-pound righty out of Canada. Charlesbourg, Canada. Let's see that I've been there. Well, the stats here on Simard coming into the ballgame. He has a win-loss record of 0-1, an ERA of 6.50, now in his 15th appearance of the season. In 18 full innings, Simard has given up a total of 13 earned runs on 26 hits, striking out 19. He has also walked 9, and batters are batting .313 against him. So Brian Snyder, again, the man to lead things off. It'll be 7, 8, 9 here in the 8th. And Snyder's 2 for 3, a pair of singles, and 2 runs scored. And here's the wind and the pitch and the breaking ball with a called strike on the outside corners. The count is 0-1. The unique thing about Brian Snyder, he comes in batting just .276, but has a knack for scoring runs. Here's a breaking ball and a called strike at the outside corner, 1-1. Brian Snyder coming into this ballgame has scored 13 runs in his 23 games for Stockton. That one misses low and away. That was a good job of getting on base, and of course that's what he was known for in his college years at Stetson, and what made him so attractive as a first-round pick for the A's. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. And one misses inside. And you can't even hit 2-2. Stockton, 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. There's a swing at a high fly ball out towards right center field, shading over to his right side is Cody Fuller, about 5 or 6 steps to make the catch, puts it away. And that'll be out number 1 of the 8th inning as it brings up the shortstop, Gregorio Petit, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI single in the 2nd. In line scored for the Quakes, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. They have not scored since a 2-run home run from Sutton back in the bottom half of the 3rd. So Simard quickly in the line. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and that one driven out towards right center field. Backtracking is Fuller and makes the catch a few steps in front of the rim of the warning track. And that'll be out number 2 in the 8th as it brings up the left fielder Cameron Coughlin. Coughlin has grounded out twice, also had an RBI single with a run scored as part of that big 5-run 7th inning for Stockton. Switch hitter moving back to the left side of the plate against the right-hander. Had a couple of clutch hits and a really good bunt in tonight's ball game as well. First pitch fastball on the inside corner, called strike, and the count 0-1. And here's the wind of the 0-1 pitch. Goes back with a fastball in the same location, same result, a called strike, and the count 0-2 now to Coughlin. Both fastballs at 90 on the guns. Here's the line of the 0-2 pitch. And a breaking ball trying to pin on the outside corner, but missed. And the count 1-2 now to Cameron Coughlin. Here's the 1-2 pitch. And a breaking ball comes too far inside and hits Cameron Coughlin in the leg. So he'll be a 2-out base runner on a hit-by-pitch. Strange night. We've seen that quite a bit. 3rd hit-by-pitch of the evening. First one has been issued to the Stockton Ports. Jason Ray accidentally hit 2 Quake batters in this game. So a 2-out base runner's Coughlin as it sends it back to the top of the lineup, and the second baseman, Eddie Cornejo, is 1 for 4 with an RBI single and a run scored in the 7th. Here is the first pitch. There's a swing and a bouncer to the right side. And that is Sutton, the second baseman, will flip over to Rodriguez to get the force play. And the 3rd and final out of this top half of the 8th inning. So for the Stockton Ports, they get no runs, 6 errors, and 1 man left on base. We head to the last half of the 8th inning here in Game 1 at the Epicenter. It's 8-3 Stockton. Can they hang on? Going to have to stay tuned to find out as the play-by-play story unfolds here on 1420 KSTN.
Did you wake up to Mancow this morning?
Here's my friend Carlos Mencia.
My birth name is Ned. No, seriously, my birth name is Ned Arnell Mencia. But I grew up in East LA where, like, everybody's Mexican. So it was like, this is how it was first class. It would be like, Geraldo and Nemesio here. Jesus, because you're from farther. They didn't even know where Honduras was because my friends would come up to me and go, hey, Ned, tell them where you were born. Watch this. I was born in Honduras. I told you he's Cambodian.
Kate Hudson, you know, the daughter of Goldie Hawn, she likes porn.
Men like sex. And so I have absolutely no issues with pornography. People can do what they want to do. They can watch it if they want to watch it.
Tune in tomorrow morning for another edition of Mancow's Morning Madhouse on KSTN, 1420 AM.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of the 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Rudy on 1420 KSTN.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back here to the bottom half of the 8th inning, live from the Epicenter in Rancho, Cucamonga. It's 8-3, Stockton on top of the Quakes. Ports with 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. The Quakes, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. For Rancho here in the last half of the 8th inning, it'll be 4-5-6 to start things off. Pat Riley, Michael Collins, and Ben Johnson. And a new pitcher on the mound for the Stockton Ports is the right-hander Jeff Gray. That pitch right off the plate, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. So a real quick 1 inning of work for Trent Peterson as Gray on the mound now. Here's the 1-0 as that one misses inside. And the count 2 balls and no strikes to Jeff Gray. And here's the pitch. That one misses inside. And the correction there on the ball strike count. It's 2-1 now to Pat Riley. Gray in the second outing for Stockton. Here's the 2-1. There's a swing and a miss. Good fastball. At the letters as the count even at 2-2. Gray coming in, no wins, no losses, no ERA. Now in his second appearance, pitched just an inning the other day against San Jose. Gave up no runs on 1 hit. And here's the 2-2. There's a swing and a bouncer to the right side. Taken nicely there by the first baseman, Tommy Everidge. It'll make the play himself the first on the 3 unassisted. So 1 down in the bottom half of the 8th inning. It brings up the DH, Michael Collins. He was blown out, struck out, and grounded out. He's 0 for 3. Gray's a really nice addition here to the bullpen for Stockton. He's pitched in the rotation and in the bullpen in Low A King County, but now in the bullpen for the Ports. And Gray seems to have good stuff. 6'3", 205-pound right-hander out of Chesterfield, Missouri. That'll be second-round selection. And first pitch, a strike at the count, 0-1 to Michael Collins. And Gray kicks and fires the 0-1. There's a swing and a foul ball back to the screen, and the count 0-2 now. On the Rancho Cucamonga DH. Ports up 8-3. Stockton 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. Again, the Quakes 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Jason Ray got the start, went 6 full as the pitcher of record. Is Peterson a solid inning of relief back in the 7th. Here's the line in the 0-2. Breaking ball, that one swung on and skied down the right field line, and that'll find its way out of play. And the count's still 0-2 to Collins. Ray, Peterson, and Gray, and then take a look for Rancho. They've dug into the pen as well, as after Nick Adenhart, it was Brad Beck and now Michel Samard. Here's the line in the 0-2 pitch. That one misses low and away, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes to Michael Collins. That one registered at 95. Here's the 1-2 pitch. There's a swing and a broken right side. Corneo has it, will quickly flip over to the bag at first, and that'll be out number 2 on the 4-3. So 2 up and 2 down. And it brings up the catcher, Ben Johnson, who's 0 for 3, has flown out in all 3 of his plate appearances in the 2nd, 4th, and the 6th. And he's done it all 3 times to center field right at Nick Blasey. So nobody on, 2 outs here in the last half of the 8th inning. Rancho running out of chances to try to climb back into it. Here's the pitch. And a breaking ball with a called strike at the outside corner. The count is 0-1 to Ben Johnson. Here's the 1 of the 0-1. That one swung on, lifted foul, third base side into the seats. And the count 0-2. Off speed at 81. And Johnson off balance, and we'll see if Gray comes back with that good fastball right here. Then no balls, 2 strikes. Nobody on, 2 outs. Right in, looks in. Now sitting up outside. Here's the 0-2. And a fastball at 94 misses up and in, and the count 1-2 to Johnson. Batting from the left side against the right-hander. Here's the 1 and the 1-2 pitch. Just misses off the plate. And another fastball at 94. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Johnson. And here's the 1 and the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3 on the outside corner. Got him looking. Pulled the string at 81 miles per hour on the breaking ball, and that'll retire the side in order. So Jeff Gray, as advertised, doing a nice job in his time here in Stockton. No runs, 6 errors, and none left. As sends him an order in the 8th. We head to the 9th. Port still hanging tough, up 8-3. We'll see if they can add some final breathing room in 60 seconds here on 1420 KSTN.
Next up, a tasty sip of Dr. Pepper for your ears, and it starts like this.
I'm a pepper, he's a pepper, she's a pepper, we're a pepper, what do you know?
Now that's cool, but there's more to it. Because every sip is a chicken mashup of 23 different flavors. So for the true taste of Dr. Pepper, we dial it up even more. You know it. With 23 flavors mixed into one bowl taste, every sip is a cool mix of music in your mouth. Dr. Pepper, there's more to it.
Have you ever thought about becoming a foster parent and improving the life of a child in need? This is Landon Powell of Stockton Ports. For more than 40 years, Agape Village's foster family agency has been committed to healing hearts and building families. But they cannot do it alone. Find out how you can become a foster parent by calling Agape Villages at 1-800-566-2225. The Stockton Ports, Butler Construction, and New York Life encourage you to make a difference in the life of a child.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports with Bo Fulgenetti and Zach Beruti on 1420 KSTN.
We are through 8 now as we head to the top half of the 9th inning. Again, it's an 8-3 ball game. The Ports with 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And for Rancho Cucamonga, it's 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. Story of the ball game for Stockton, of course, was the big 5-run top half of the 7th inning that broke up a 3-3 tie. And we'll see if they can add some final insurance here in the 9th. It will be 2, 3, 4, Blasey, Leslie, and Powell to start things off here in the 9th inning. There's Nick Blasey to step in. He's 2 for 4, a single and double in, a run scored back in the first. Also flown out twice to the right fielder, Cody Fuller. So his numbers continue to rise in his short time here with Stockton. I like what I see from Blasey. A guy that, like Snyder we talked about, knows how to get on base, very patient, and does a nice job at the top of the order, but a good contact hitter in the 2-hole as well. First pitch, a called strike at the outside corner. The count is 0-1 to Nick Blasey. Here's the line in the 0-1 pitch, breaking ball, and a called strike on the outside corner. The count is 0-2. And here's the 0-2 pitch, swung on and missed. It goes down quickly, and that's the first strikeout of the ball game for the right-hander Samard, and that'll bring up the right fielder Myron Leslie. There's 2 for 4, 2 singles, 2 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Stockton has scored 2 in the first, 1 in the second, 5 in the seventh. There's a called strike at the outside corner. The count is 0-1. Rancho with a run in the first, 2 in the third, and the Port's pitching staff has been sensational ever since. There's another called strike in the outside corner, and the count is 0-2 now to Leslie. Here's the 1 of the 0-2 pitch, and a called strike 3 on the inside corner. Bring him up and sit him down is what so far the right-hander Simon has been doing. The Blazy and Leslie now both the strikeouts. 2 up and 2 down. 2 strikeouts for the right-hander. Brings up the catcher, Landon Powell, who was 0 for 2, has walked twice, once in the third and once in the seventh. Smart got good stuff working both sides of the plate. Here's the pitch. Here's a swing and a flare in the left center field. That is dropping quickly, and it's like a shoestring grab out there in left center for Drew Toussaint. We'll take away a base hit from Landon Powell and retire the side in order here in the ninth. In the porch, no runs, hits, errors, and none left. A good inning of relief for Michelle Simard. Maybe too little, too late for Rancho. Well, stay tuned to find out. We'll see the porch. They put the final nail in the coffin in the bottom half of the ninth, just 60 seconds away. You're on 1420 KSTN.
Well, I'm going to the beach where I belong, where the days are warm and the nights are long.
Boardwalk rides just 65 cents each, including the 125-foot tall double shot. 65-cent rides this Monday and Tuesday night after 5 p.m. Plus 65-cent Pepsis, hot dogs, and cotton candy. Not valid July 3rd or 4th. All boardwalk rides just 65 cents each. Plus 65-cent Pepsis, hot dogs, and cotton candy this Monday and Tuesday night after 5 p.m. Boardwalk.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Ports, only on 1420 KSTN.
Bottom half of the ninth inning, do-or-die time for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. Stockton Ports sending out right-hander Jeff Gray to see if he can put things away in his second inning of work. And for Rancho here in the bottom half of the ninth inning, it'll be bottom half of the order as well. 7, 8, 9, Cody Fuller, Drew Toussaint, and Josh LeBlanc, barring any pinch hitting opportunities. So Cody Fuller will step in, has flown out, singled, and also been hit by a pitch. Line score in the ball game for Stockton: 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And for the Quakes, 3 runs, 8 hits, and 1 error. For the Ports on the mound, it was Jason Ray, who's gone 6 full as the pitcher of record. Shea Peterson, a nice inning of relief in the 7th, gave up just 1 hit. And Jason Ray now in his second inning, and a 1-2-3-8 with his first strikeout. Here's the first pitch on the way to Cody Fuller. Here's a swing at a hard hit ball out towards right center. Backtracking is Blazy, and he's not going to get to that one. A one-hopper off the wall. Rounding first, hitting towards second is Fuller. Here comes the throw. It is offline. And a leadoff double for Cody Fuller to start the ninth. And it'll bring up the left fielder, Drew Toussaint, who's 1 for 3 with a single in the 4th inning. And it's the 9th hit of the ball game for Rancho, so they're now 1 shy of the Ports in the hit department. Willie Stockton still on top, 8-3. So Toussaint will step in from the right side. As Gray looks in, comes set at the belt. The pitch on the way. Fastball and a called strike in the inside corner. The count is 0-1 to Drew Toussaint. And here's the stretch from the belt, the 0-1. And a breaking ball swung on and missed as the count is 0-2 now to Toussaint. He's got good stuff. That hard fastball, he's got it upwards of 94 to 95. Here's the stretch from the belt. A look at second, the 0-2 pitch. And a called strike, 3 on the inside corners. Toussaint goes down looking. Second strikeout for Gray, and one down here in the ninth as they'll bring up the center fielder, Josh LeBlanc. LeBlanc has singled and scored in the third, grounded out twice. Once to Cornejo at second, and the other to the shortstop, Petit. That was back in the 7th inning. Leading off the bag at second is Fuller. Here's the first pitch on the way. And a called strike at the outside corner as the count is 0-1. And here's the stretch from the belt. A look at second of the 0-1. That one misses inside. And the count even 1 ball and 1 strike apiece to Josh LeBlanc. Here's the stretch. Gray, the 1-1. Try the inside corner, missed a bit low, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike to LeBlanc. Up 5 runs here in the bottom half of the 9th inning in game 1. Want to throw strikes and put this final nail in the coffin. Gray coming set from the belt. A look at second at 2-1. There's a swing and a high bouncer to the right side. Taken on 2 hops by Eddie Cornejo. He'll flip over to the bag at first. And that'll be out number 2 as that does advance Fuller now down to third base 90 feet away. But there are 2 outs. And that will bring up second baseman Nate Sutton. Sutton 2 for 4. A single with a run scored in the first and a 2-run home run in the third. As he steps in from the left side. Here's the stretch from the belt, the pitch. And a called strike at the outside corner as the count is 0-1 to Nate Sutton. And from the belt, here's the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count even at a ball and a strike apiece. Just a few minutes shy of the 9:30 mark here on the West Coast. In one of this 3-game series, Port's trying to start off the road trip on the right foot. There's a swing and a shot up the middle, off the mound, off the glove, I should say, the pitcher Gray. It trickles behind the mound, and coming in to score will be Cody Fuller. A line drive single off the bat of Nate Sutton, and it's now 8-4 as it brings up the third baseman Freddy Sandoval. They did get the leather on it, knocked it down, but could not recover in enough time. So now the lead is 4, and that'll bring up Sandoval. He's 2 for 4 with a pair of singles, 1 in the first and 1 in the 7th. And it's the 10th hit of the ball game for Rancho, so now they have equaled Stockton in the hit department as that pitch misses outside. Gets past the catcher, Powell. And moving into scoring position at second base will be Sutton. And that is scored the patch ball on Landon Powell. So now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes to Freddy Sandoval. As Gray looks in from the belt, here's the 1-0 pitch. Swung on, poked foul, third base side over the C10 of the concourse area and out of play. And the count even at 1-1. If the Ports can hang on for the victory, it would put them in an even 12-12. They are in third place in the California League Northern Division. From the belt, here's the 1-1. And the called strike in the outside corner. 1-2 the count to Freddy Sandoval. Down to their final strike. Here's the stretch. From the belt, the 1-2 pitch on the way from Jeff Gray. And a swing and a miss, a drop, third strike. Powell's going to have to hurry and makes the throw over there. And ladies and gentlemen, that is your ball game as the Stockton Ports winners here in Game 1 of this 3-game series by a final score of 8-4. Story in this ball game is the big 5-run top half of the 7th inning where the Ports announced their presence here at the Epicenter. Again, with the victory now, Stockton at even 12-12. And I'll take take a quick 90-second breather, come back and recap this thing for you, folks. Post-game show just a minute and a half away here from the press box of the Epicenter on 1420 KSTN.
Ladies, some dessert today?
Okay.
I highly recommend the Diet Dr. Pepper. The flavor is divine.
That sounds good.
Frankly, I don't know why they even called it a diet.
How is that prepared?
We'll begin by gently pouring the rich, luscious Diet Dr. Pepper over ice cubes until the sweet, refreshing goodness rises to a golden halo of fizz.
Yum. Make it two.
With a flavor this rich and rewarding, there's nothing diet about it. It's not a diet. It's a Diet Dr. Pepper.
Mancow's Morning Madhouse.
Hi, it's Mancow. Heard the bartender, Christopher Walken Theater. Phone scams 10 minutes after every hour. We do more in a half hour than any other radio show does in a week. Get a Mancow on. Get up with us right here. Mancow's Morning Madhouse. Get your Mancow on Monday morning starting at 5 a.m. Join me, Mancow, and my whole Morning Madhouse crew on 1420 KSTN.
Take me out to the ball game. Take me out for $1.
The Stockton Fort season is in full swing, so hurry to your local Sprint store and pick up a fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon. Take the whole family out to the ball game for only $1 each and catch all the action from Sprint Home Run Hill. Get your fantastic Dollar Sunday coupon and the best wireless phones in service only at Sprint, proud sponsor of the Stockton Forts.
Buy me some peanuts and a cell phone. I love to see the Forts play at home.
You're listening to live play-by-play coverage of a 2006 Stockton Forts. Only on 1420 KSTN.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back here live from the press box of the Epicenter in Rancho Cucamonga, where Stockton Port's victorious here in Game 1 of this three-game series by a final score of 8-4. And again, the biggest story in this ball game is a 5-run, 5-hit seventh inning for the Stockton Ports, as they had a 3-3 tie going through most of this thing. And you dial back to the first inning, and throughout the first couple frames, pitching was also the story here tonight. Is the right-hander for the Stockton Ports, Jason Ray, in his return to his college town. An excellent outing on the mound. He was opposed by Nick Adenhart for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes, and he is as advertised as well. Had good stuff, and taking from the first inning on, Stockton did score first in this one, as they scored 2 runs on 2 hits, capped off by the RBI single from Myron Leslie, and that quickly made it a 2-0 ball game after just 1/2 frame of baseball. But much like the San Jose Giants did to the Stockton Ports last week at San Jose Municipal Stadium, quick to answer the call was the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. They scored 1 run in the bottom half of the first on 2 hits and a sacrifice fly with an RBI from Sean Rodriguez and knocked in Nate Sutton. And when the Stockton Ports scored a run in the second inning, as Brian Sider singled and scored on the RBI base knock from Gregorio Petit, it was Rancho once again who would answer the call with a 2-run third inning, highlighted by a 2-run home run from Nate Sutton. That made it a 3-3 tie, and that is where it stood until the 7th inning, when the Stockton Ports poured it on awfully thick. 5 runs, 5 hits, and crucial error given up in Rancho in the 7th inning as well, and it was all highlighted by a 2 RBI double from John McCurdy, and boy, what a great job he continues to do. He is in hot streak, batting over 500 in his last 5 ball games. He's homered in 3 of his last 5 games, and a tremendous job right there as McCurdy comes through in the clutch with a big hit, and the inning continued for Stockton, as again he scored 5 runs to make it an 8-3 ball game. Rancho would make it look a bit interesting in the 9th inning, scoring a run of their own after the double from Cody Fuller and the RBI single from Nate Sutton. That made it 8-4, and that was your final score. Live score of the ball game for Stockton in a winning effort. They scored 8 runs, 10 hits, no errors. And for the Quakes, 4 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. The win goes to Jason Ray, now 4-2. Loss goes to Nick Adenhart. He is now 2-1. Time of the game, 2 hours and 24 minutes, and they did it in front of 2,472 fans at the Epicenter here in Rancho Cucamonga. Well, time for our Solstice Mortgage Player of the Game. A lot of offense here for Stockton tonight. 8 runs and 10 hits, and a lot of guys that are very deserving of the honor. But, I'm going to give this one to the man on the mound. Rarely do we give a chance to pat the pitchers on the back. And Jason Ray, 6 innings of work, gave up 3 earned runs and 7 hits, striking out 2, walking none. He gets his 4th victory of the season. He does it in front of a large crowd here of family and friends for him. As I mentioned, going to college at a Suzu Pacific just down the street. And also family coming all the way from Farmington, New Mexico to watch the game in person here tonight. So congratulations to Ray in front of family and friends. He is your Solstice Mortgage Player of the Game, brought to you by Solstice Mortgage, with 2 convenient locations in Lodi and Stockton. They are your local lender who reminds you that when you're in scoring position for a new dream house, let Solstice Mortgage step up to the plate and bring you home. That's Solstice Mortgage, proud sponsors of the 2006 Stockton Ports. Well, again, Stockton getting right back to the 500 mark and an even 12-12 on the season, and we'll try to continue this road trip on the right foot. In Game 2 of the 3-game series tomorrow, it will be an afternoon daycare special here in Rancho Cucamonga. On the mound for the Stockton Ports, making his debut in 06 after a tremendous 05, where he was the A's minor league pitcher of the year. It'll be Dallas Braden on the mound for Stockton. Should be an interesting ball game. He will be opposed on the mound tomorrow by Carl Gelina, who's 1-3 with a 5.55 ERA. Again, first pitch start time at 1:05. We will be on the air at 12:55 for the Dr. Pepper pregame shows. So make sure you stay tuned in and logged in on that one. We'll keep you interested in the office all afternoon. So make sure you have us tuned in on the 1420 dial. And again, thank you so much for being a part of the broadcast here tonight. I want to thank everybody that made this broadcast possible, all of our generous sponsors on the broadcast. Tonight's engineer is Paul Shin, sports director Sean Mead, producer Vanetta Fox, and, of course, everybody who's made this broadcast possible. Thank you so much. Your final score for the final time here from the Epicenter was the Ports 8, the Quakes 4. And for all of you tuning in, until tomorrow afternoon, this is Bo Fulgenetti coasting into my final port and docking up for the night. Take care. Have a pleasant good evening, and so long from the Epicenter at Rancho Cucamonga.
Pioneer Radio and Sports would like to thank the following businesses who are committed to customer service.
This sports broadcast is brought to you in part by High-Speed Transmission. Quality, fast transmission work. By Angels Marble. Quick, fast, and efficient service. By Fast Signs. Sign and graphic solutions made simple. By O'Leary Telephone and Data. Operating locally since 1984. And by Hilltop Lending Corporation. We're on top of the lending world.